But he's going to go for round two. He's going to go for the knock. Goes for the roll now. And he's spotted CVL. Looks for the clip, but he's not going to be able to get it. Jumps out instead, but goes down.
Moving forward, trying to get a better position using the smoker's advantage. Drives straight in.
Out instead, but goes down. Now it's just Portal alive. Poor Soul in a 1v1. He cannot do it.
Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the last day of the semi-finals of the PMCO 2020 Spring Split. I am PC Peasants Gaming and I have my co-caster here, Crips.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is it. You're looking at the edge of the horizon over here as the teams that make it and the teams that don't make it to the finals. We will find out who they are within the next few hours.
Yes, we will. And we've got Mayhem, ELMT Esports, AIM Gaming, 7 Seas Esports, Celts, Icky Mafia, Lifecraft, -40, Orange Rock, Aztecc, Godlike, Team Insane, Megastars, Genocide, JSL, and TeamElves playing today. And let's look at the overall standings, Crips.
That was a lot of names, and that's a lot of points too for Marcos Gaming. Look at that massive lead, 248. UMExRxN trailing in close. Well, not really close, but that's as far as anyone can get at 188. 7 Seas Esports, they had a pretty damn good time in this tournament, and they're trailing at 184. Fnatic, though, they have a little bit of catching up to do. They're at 166, and close behind them is Megastars at 159 points. But keep in mind, Fnatic hasn't won a single chicken dinner yet. All these points were on the basis of consistent high placement points and plenty of kills. ELMT Esports, they still have a lot of games left to go, which means there is a small chance that they will bounce up on this overall standing board. Currently at 156. The highest? We don't know. TeamTamilas and Orange Rock also in the mix with 7th and 8th standing.
Alright, we've got VSGCrawlers coming in with 9th place at 137 points. Decent number of kills, no chicken dinner. But Lifecraft, finally a chicken dinner. The team that hasn't been having the greatest bunch of games, but they're back. And they are right now looking pretty safe. Revenge Esports now in the 11th position, moving up with 121 points. And so is Celts in the 12th position with 115 points. But Godlike, Team Insane, Team Ecstasy, Team Genocide, these teams really need to pick up the pace, because if they want to make it to the finals, they will really need to frag out today.
Definitely. I think the doors for Team Ecstasy have already closed because they're done with their 16 games. But Genocide might still have a chance back.
Yep, Team Genocide is a team that definitely has had a bunch of kills under their bag, but Aztecc ESP is another team that I do have a lot of hopes for, and they might just be able to slip into the top 16 safe zone, because the rest of these teams, Mayhem, Icky Mafia, TeamElves, they've not been having the greatest performance. I mean, Icky Mafia had that one chicken dinner in Erangel, but since then they have not given us the greatest PUBG Mobile games. -40 all the way at 22nd position. -40 is going to have to really frag out if they want to make it to the finals of the PMCO Spring Split.
Yep, all these teams do have a chance of making it in. We did see on the previous page that two of the teams on the previous page in the safe zone have already completed their 16 matches. So I guess 2 spots are still available if all these teams are vying for them. But the doors for Full Power have also already closed. In fact, they did not even complete their last game. You saw they had played only 15 games in this championship, whereas they were supposed to play 16. And they realized that they're not going to be able to make it, so they did not even show up to the last one. And that's the level of devastation PUBG Mobile can cause you if you're not one of the best, if you struggle. Because this team did pretty well in the group stages, but semifinals, it just turned out to be a whole different beast for them. Either way,
Absolutely.
if these teams want to make it, they need to get points, and in order to get points, you need high placements and high kills. So
Yep. As we've seen before, like the first place getting 20 points, we've seen most of the winners, chicken dinner winners, tend to have between 25 to 30 points because they have the kills, and those 30 points are a huge jump for the teams in standings. So all the teams who are in the bottom of the standings right now will want to at least go for a chicken dinner and try to catch up. Well, we have 4 matches today, so don't go anywhere. It's Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, and finally back to Erangel. This is the last day of the semifinals, so this is the last day for a lot of these teams to show us what they're actually made of so that they can make it to the finals.
Yep. And do keep in mind that finals is not the last pit stop. You also have a chance at representing your country internationally, so there's a lot at stake.
Yep, we've got Orange Rock, Aztecs. I mean, Orange Rock, of course, has Mavi, Daljit, John, Anto. They don't really have to worry about, doing well and making it to the finals. But teams like Aztecs, we've seen Aztecs, of course, do pretty well in the group stages. But I do expect them to come back. They are a team that work under pressure. Crips?
Definitely, but Aztecs, they are kind of struggling at this point. And along with Aztecs, they're not the only ones struggling. Team Mayhem also having a horrible time. They did really well in the group stages, but now they just failed to show up. Elements and 7Cs are doing extremely well on the other hand, because these teams have been consistently getting some chicken dinners and kills as well. The teams that are in danger from Group C are currently -40 and Iki Mafia. So these two need to step up. Cells also in the safe for now, but there is a small chance that they might slip up. They usually tend to perform really well on Erangel and sometimes really well on Miramar as well, but Sanhok seems to be a tough spot for them. So let's see how these teams fare today.
Yep, Iki Mafia is a team that seems to be getting at least Erangel to some extent. They managed to excel in the open area fights, but when it comes to a close quarter urban warfare scenario, they tend to drop the ball all the time, and that's something they really need to work on. Meanwhile, we have ELMT Esports and Megastars head to head with 66 kills and 63 kills respectively. Both these teams are dealing very similar amounts of damage, and it's nice to see Megastars finally step up, because ELMT Esports, of course, has always been playing a strong game, at least in the PMCO, but Megastars had some starting trouble, and now they seem to be catching up.
Definitely. ELMT Esports also boasts one of the strongest players in the game, Gabbar, who had 30 kills in the group stages. Megastars, though, they have a few players in the top 10, but none of them are, I don't think any of them have ever come close to the top 5.
No.
So that way, ELMT Esports does have a big lead in terms of firepower, but Mega does have a tendency to sometimes outsmart all the teams around them and survive till the very last. So that's one advantage that they have too.
Yep, but the thing that I gotta point out for ELMT Esports is the way they push, the way they third party. We've seen some insane action from them. The moment they have a team like pinned down, like they had Mayhem yesterday, they just go completely all out and secure the frags and get a team elimination. So when it comes to a team fight for ELMT Esports, as long as it's a 1v1 team fight, ELMT Esports tends to always win. But if they are distracted over multiple fronts, then they start having issues, and we've only seen them perform on multiple fronts in that Sanhok game, where we had a lone element. We had two ELMT Esports players sandwiched between 7Cs and Marcos Gaming.
Oh yes, I remember that one.
But yeah, they kind of managed to like do some damage here and there, but they didn't finally survive in the end. So we have the playing path on the screen right now. So the match has started. It's Primost to Kameshki. Crips, you know the drops better than I do, so take it away.
Well. This plane path is certainly interesting. It has all the parts of the map accessible, and the only difference is if teams want to get to places like Novo or George Bull, they're going to have to get into early car. They have to go for the cars early, and there might be a little bit of theft or GTA action involved.
Yes.
Those teams, we know which teams are comfortable on George Bull, so we will see them when they try to make their way over there. But for now, let's start with Primost, where Mayhem drops straight down. Team JSL also are going for Primos this time. All right, this is interesting.
That's a
we
change.
have seen JSL perform well in Pochinki. They did try their luck in military base, but they failed over there. But they've never been to Primos before. That's going to be interesting. So Team Mayhem, they need to be ready for this. I don't think they are, though. Team Insane also have switched things up a bit. They seem to be dropping straight down towards the plain fields of Gatka, which isn't something they usually do. I'm assuming they're looking for cars over here, and then they'll head up towards the George Pool dockyards. Same goes for Team AIM as well. Team Orange Rock, though, they are hovering around Pochinki, but none of the teams are actually inside Pochinki at this point. Look at that. That's rare.
It looks like Orange Rock is going for Watertown, as generally they do. And yeah, but JSL dropping generally in Pochinki and Mili have now dropped in Primosk, which is always home to Mayhem. So Mayhem loves dropping here. So let's see if Mayhem has the home advantage. And the shots are being fired, but GSL's Glaive gets the first knock on Mayhem's Believe. That is not good for Mayhem. And he's going for the Thirst as well. And that is a early knock for Mayhem. Not something that they would have wanted. But hey, a feather in the cap for GSL.
Well, keep in mind, this is the first time ever that we are seeing a fight in Primosk. This town has been in the leading fronts if you were to start a non-violent movement. This is literally the very first fight in Primosk. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I don't think Mayhem were ready for this. They could have never been prepared for this. Now, the thing about Primosk is, since it's at the edges, we haven't seen the circle yet, but very soon we will, and we'll figure out if this town is in or no.
Yep, and we'll see. We'll also know exactly whether the teams will disengage if the circles are fast circle. And back to Livecraft and Iki Mafia, another peaceful town, Yasnia. Both these teams always drop gentleman's agreement, never take shots at each other. It's almost as though they're friends, they're best friends, and yeah.
Look at the distance in between those two. There's a whole city block in front of them. There's no way they can even spot each other at this point. Unless one of them just fires into the air 100 shots and then foolishly, deliberately gives away his position. I don't think they will. But that's the thing about Yasna. It's been a peaceful coexistence. Primosk, on the other hand, has been my house, my rules for Team Mayhem up until this point, and now it's being changed.
Absolutely. Mayhem's going to want to retaliate, maybe, but we'll know soon enough if the circle screws them or not. But I'd like to point out something that Livecraft loves doing. They love dropping in Yasna, of course, but then they go for the edge rotations. They don't always commit to a central rotation and a central circle. And they sort of edge their way in and they take fights every 400 meters and slowly secure themselves in the safe zone. Orange Rock is very much the opposite of these teams, especially Livecraft, where they will quickly loot up, they will try to get as many vehicles as they can, and they will go for the central circle, very similar to what Fnatic also does.
Yeah, that's one very big thing, one very big difference as well about these two teams. And historically, Orange Rock, Fnatic have always performed better than Livecraft. But then that was the case in group stages. In the semifinals, we have seen sometimes teams do use the edge approach and they are able to make it work. So the philosophy or the debate between central versus edge, it still goes on. The meta is always fresh, and it really depends on how good a team is and how comfortable they are at pulling it off.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have Team Cells looting the shit out of Milta. They don't have anybody to oppose them, and that's going to definitely give them decent loot. Yeah, it's a central circle, so I'm sure Mayhem and GSL are not going to want to commit. Yep, Mayhem's already rotating towards the circle. They've taken their loss on their chin and not being petty about it. Meanwhile, we've got AIM Gaming, of course, dropping in Georgopol as usual. Generally fighting Team Tamil right there, but this time, of course, Tamil is not playing, so they don't really have to worry about them. TeamElves, I think, would have dropped Lipovka. I did miss the plane path, and they seem to be moving towards Mansion, crossing towards Mansion.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty early rotation for TeamElves. I mean, they do usually go Lipovka, and since it's not in town or since it's not in the circle, they can go Mansion, but I guess Mansion just wasn't big enough to satisfy all of them.
No, the
So-
loot is not that. No, it's not that great in Mansion, but the loot is fantastic in Novo, which we're seeing on the screen right now. And Mega always drop there, don't they? And they get
Definitely.
decent loot. They do rotate, and I think Mega is just one of those teams that is loot dependent, so that they can survive to the later stages of the circle and the game.
Yeah, but that's the thing about their loot dependency. Since they're so used to going in Novo, so used to rotating in and around that area, they're super quick. Keep in mind, Novo is a big place. It takes plenty of time to loot up all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, when I was a noob, when I was like really new to PUBG Mobile, I
Right.
used to go drop Novo. And the only reason I did it because I know it's safe. Hardly anybody goes there because it's almost always out of the circle. There's almost always a massive rotation to be made. So I just started doing that when I was a newbie.
Okay.
And at one point I became so effective in looting it, I was able to just, lick it clean within a matter of minutes. And I got so efficient that I was always able to rotate in time. And since Mega have also done this,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like they're a machine. It's clockwork. They do it so quickly. They're in, out, into the circle before the second circle even pops. And that's one thing I really like about that team. If
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Like, the thing about looting Novo is if you don't manage to like succeed in the rotation phase,
then
you
it's all-
you
it's
will
all
be
gone.
caught out. So like, there is an art to looting Novo for sure, and
And
I
looting any place for that matter.
yeah, absolutely.
It's like if you're really comfortable going there, you should be able to lick it all up. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure these teams also have like a mind map when they drop at their favorite
Yes,
locations.
yes.
They know exactly where to go. They have their little paths that they follow. Of course, we have Team
Yeah.
Aztec looting the warehouse outside school, and Orange Rock have moved up from the water town all the way, and Daljit, the sneaky bastard, has the angle on Team Aztec. I would not want to mess with this man and his car 98.
Definitely not. Especially when you're in a vehicle. I mean, there are clips on Instagram of Daljit just knocking people out of moving cars with that sniper rifle.
Yep.
And at one point, it seems like, damn, this just can't be possible. But this man does it. He's done it before. And it's incredible to look at. I'm going to be honest.
Yep. Orange Rock is a team that I do want to see rack up a couple of kill points, but at the same time, I am hoping that some of the teams at the bottom of the standings also, climb, and Aztecs is one of those teams. They're right now in the 17th position overall, and they could really use a chicken dinner.
Definitely. A lot of these teams could use a chicken dinner. And not all of them have had the privilege of doing so. If you look at it, the distribution of chicken dinners, the top 3 teams have 3 chicken dinners each. Fnatic has none, but still they're up there. So really, the chicken dinner is something, it's like a wild goose chase. You might end up getting it. But even after that, there's no guarantee that you will succeed. And that's the... How do I say it? It's like the curse of playing this game. Even victory seems to elude you.
RNG. RNG. And looks like Cells succeeded the RNG lottery right there with the Groza. Red's going to be taking all their level 3 vest and helmet, but he's going to let MJ take the Groza. What a wonderful teammate.
Well, maybe MJ is
The better
expert
life load?
at handling. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you look at it, MJ does usually aggress for his team. He leads the charge.
Mhm.
Although I don't think he will be leading the charge with any team anytime soon. Cells is pretty safe at the edge of the circle. Nobody's bothering them, but Elements definitely are bothering Icky Mafia. No
Yep.
damage dealt yet, but they've blown up their tires and now they're moving away. Bye-bye. They're gonna be stuck here.
Well, it's not that bad since Icky Mafia is in the circle, it's very safe, and the circle has not largely moved. It's pretty much the same circle for most of these teams, but it looks like Team Elements is rotating to a safer location, maybe. I
Yeah.
wonder. But it's smart. It's smart. It's like let's let's hamstring this this team, and then let's move along. And now we have 7Cs. Now 7Cs has been having some incredible games, especially yesterday. We've seen some amazing frags. Sorry, day before yesterday, where 420 OP was on fire. Even yesterday, they came second place. Yeah, they came second, I forgot, in Erangel. So, yeah, 7Cs is a team that seems to be very comfortable with Erangel. They know how to play this map. It's on the back of their hands. So, they are a strong contender for winning the first match of the last day of the semifinals. And Orange Rocks Vampire finally in the team, gets a knock. Anto gets a knock on the TeamElves player and finishes him off. In fact, Sneepu is out of the game.
Yeah, but that was weird. Orange Rock, we saw them, very close to 7Cs at one point, but it's actually Elves that they start engaging. And even Aztecc is nearby, so that's going to be a 4-way battle right there.
Yep,
On the other side of the screen, near the warehouses of Pochinki, Mayhem has started fighting cells. No, wait, that wasn't Mayhem. That was something completely else. That was on a whole different part of the map.
Well, we've got M40 now taking on Godlike. And the shots are being fired.
I mentioned the Mayhem versus cells to be here. I was wrong. M40 and Godlike are battling it out at the edge of Pochinki.
The Pochinki warehouses. So let's see how this pans out, because Godlike is going to want to go for those early frags, and if they take out M40, they will have a decent number of kills in their little piggy bank. And the circle is we have an AWM drop. Interesting.
Nice.
And it's not that it is far away, but not that far away from the Lifecraft.
It's like very close to Pochinki. A lot of these teams could go for it, but there's plenty of crowd in and around this area, especially on the left-hand side of Pochinki. Look at that. JSL, Mayhem, all of them moving in at this point. Even M40 is there. I think the fight we saw between Godlike and M40, it might just get a few more, participants over here.
That SLR headshot from Carry BTC is going to hurt, and the nades fly. These teams need to leave. Meanwhile, 7Cs drive by, and they're not committing to this fight. Godlike takes a couple of shots and doesn't connect.
Yeah, 7Cs is running away from the fight between Orange Rock and Elves. Meanwhile, M40, they have taken to the wheels and they are out of there. They do not want to fight with Godlike. They concede that compound. Meanwhile, Elements, they are engaging with 7Cs and they have to force this fight. They need to get off and start hitting each other. 7Cs have already lost final boss. Meanwhile, Navjot moves into the fray and he knocks out Element Gabbar from far away. Zigsaw down. Viro desperately trying to save his teammates, but he's going to lose most of them. Viro's the last man standing for 7Cs. And same goes for Elements. This is a perfect chance. Mayhem can third party in. Look at them. Zviru going in to steal all of those kills. And he walks right away into the crosshairs of Ultron. And 7Cs are out at the first place. This smoke is barely going to be any cover because Mayhem is arching over this fight like a bunch of vultures waiting to pick off the knocked out dead players.
What did I say? Team Element in a 1v1 situation with another team will always come out on top. Meanwhile, we've got Cells spraying the shit out of JSL, and JSL is going to definitely need some bandages after that fight. We've got M40 looting what the Fnatic house, which I like to call, and Team Cells is now going in for the push. This is not looking good for M40. It's ruthless, because he decides not to go for the heal. He sprays, but he misses. The door has vanished, and Atanki takes it on his chin, but never mind. -40 eliminated, and that's pretty much the first major loss for -40 in the semifinals, last day of the semifinals. They really needed this win, and that's going to set them back.
Yeah, but they, decide to pick up a fight against MJ, who happens to have a Groza in close combat, close quarter combat. That's always a bad weapon to go up against.
And that's why you give MJ the Groza. All right.
Let's see if his Groza is able to hold off Team Mega, who are within spitting distance of that team. But in order to take the fight, they need to move quite a bit of distance. And even JSL is here, so Mega is trapped now in between Cells and JSL.
Alright, so Mega taking out the wheels of Team Cells, but is the circle going to be unforgiving, or is it going to be a central? Oh, yep, it is pretty unforgiving. It goes back to Pochinki. It doesn't want to let Pochinki go. And teams like Mega, GSL, Orange Rock, Aztecc, Lifecraft, even Genocide will all have to rotate back into the circle.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a nightmare for Lifecraft and GSL. I'm assuming these are the teams that will have the highest amount of losses, or maybe they won't even make it into the circle. But seems like Orange Rock, as always, want to take the central position. They ride right in between those two teams. That's a valley of death. You can get sprayed by Mega and by Team JSL, but surprisingly, they all make it past unscathed. Not a single amount of damage onto Orange Rock. What kind of evasion are they wearing today?
Absolutely. Orange Rock are driving like maniacs. It's Fast and the Furious 10 right here. As Mavi catches fire, he needs to get out. Oh, and he just about manages to get out, but Insane Tempest catches him out in the open. Fires a couple of shots, but does not commit to Mavi's knock. Interesting. What is Tempest trying to do here as Orange Rock now circle back to pick up Mavi?
How on earth is Orange Rock still alive? How on earth did they have all 4 of their players online? I thought one of them would have definitely gone down by now. But they're near the road, and the road doesn't really offer a lot of cover.
No,
they're
it doesn't.
right in between Team Insane, who luckily for now is focusing on Team Elements, who had lost a lot of their players. We saw this Insane team try to third party before. But while I say that, Cells have already engaged with Aztecc.
Oh my god, MJ gets the spray down on Aztecc, and Aztecs have been eliminated. Another team that could have desperately used a chicken dinner. Meanwhile, Tempest spraying down Team Element with, well, not spraying. That's an M24, I stand corrected. Mega, meanwhile, also... Oh, sorry, that's the kill feed. I keep making those kill feed mistakes. Here we have Mayhem's Cloak, Shadow, and Navjot still in the game.
No. I did mention that Lifecraft is going to have a lot of trouble, and the trouble has begun. They took a little nade damage, but while we see that, while I say that, the action's not on the screen. On screen, we have Insane duking it out against multiple teams on top of that hill in Pochinki, and Elves in dangerous proximity to Lifecraft. This is the fight that we have been wanting to see. Oh, Avi sees him out in the open. He takes the opportunity, and Noob YTP bites the dust.
Amazing quick kill by the Lifecraft player, but by the Elf player. And now Lifecraft retaliates with a nade. It is up to Villain and Exotic. Can they make this 2v3 situation? Oh ho ho ho! Exotic takes a couple of cheeky shots from Matt. The nade does not connect. And TeamElves are now going to slowly hold their position and dig themselves into a defensive position.
Hold on. I completely missed the rotation of Lifecraft moving into Pochinki. They managed to make it unscathed, and now they're in the safe zone. So they only need to take care of TeamElves.
Well,
I thought that at one point they have to fight multiple teams, but never mind. Exotic gets a knock onto Matt.
I wouldn't say unscathed. They have taken some heavy casualties in the form of Noob and Clowny, but the circle is going to change, and we do request the viewers to check the top right-hand corner of the screen. But meanwhile, Villain goes for the push, gets a quick knock on Duke, and Elves are down to 1 player. Only Villain going for the cheeky thirst right there with the Mac 10, making this an even 2v2 fight.
When I said that they made it unscathed, I meant that they made it into Pochinki unscathed. The losses they took were after they entered this place. But it doesn't really matter. The circle has screwed them once again. Oh boy, it definitely hates them today as they have to get into the circle once again. Both these teams need to finish the fight in Pochinki and move in. Meanwhile, Insane and Orange Rock have central position, so they're going to be at an advantage. And Orange Rock are in the middle of the road, which is a bit unsafe. But AIM, look at that. They're moving right up on top of Insane and Orange Rock, both at the same time. AIM have taken the best edge position. And they have the high ground. I changed my mind. The central position is irrelevant anymore. The central position it's in the valley of death.
Yep, you do not want to be in the center of the circle, and it's going to be a tough defense for Orange Rock right there in the valley of death as you described it. And Shadow, meanwhile, doing a lot of damage to Team Genocide. AIM spots out a player, gets a couple of shots in, but does not do enough damage. Mayhem now need to decide what to do here. Do they fight Team 18, or Team Genocide, or do they turn their sights on somebody else?
Well, I don't know who they are going to attack first, because Aim Gaming, they're in a situation where they have so many targets in front of them. They're going to have to choose their fights. Iki Mafia chooses to engage Elements and another team at the same time. I forgot their name. I guess it was... Never mind. Mayhem is stepping into the fray. Oh no, Cloak. He manages to finish off and knock down Iki Mafia player.
Yep.
Well, that was bad.
Well, he went for the quick kill steals. Meanwhile, Lifecraft is eliminated and Aim is still peppering Mega. They have the height advantage. They get a knock on Encore as well, and it's up to Paradox. Mega try to retaliate, but they're fighting on two fronts, and this is not going to be looking good for them. Meanwhile, Team Cells is also getting into a fight with Team Genocide, but Genocide is also taking some action from Mega as well. So it looks like Atanki is not going to have to worry too much, because Aim Gaming is definitely helping them out. But Team Genocide finally eliminated. Mega finishes them off, but now Mega falls to Aim Gaming. This is unfortunate. Mega fighting two fights on two different fronts. Definitely devastating. Vexy, last man standing. He goes for the revive on Swag, but he needs to get his players up quickly if they want to stay relevant in the last couple of circles.
Aim focus on Cells for now. That's going to give Vexy a little bit of time to revive his teammates. But Cells are in a nice position. They have a ditch for cover. They have a bunch of cars available as well. And the circle, is it upon them? Yes, it is. They have to move out just a little bit. So this is perfect. Team Elements. They know that. Oh my god! A single nade devastates Iki Mafia, and they are completely out of the game. Iki Mafia was getting shot by multiple teams, and Elements, they were the least likely contenders to finish them off, but now they have. Aim engaged with Mega, but they're prone in the grass, and the terrain provides them a bit of cover. He's missing most of his shots, but finally manages to knock out Swag. Oh, the trouble for Vexy. It doesn't end, as he once again has to revive his teammate, but he might just never get the chance to. There's a nade headed their way. Does it connect?
Oh, just about.
Barely.
Just about. Oh, but Ducky gets knocked out because he goes for the double nades, but he manages to still eliminate Megastars. Oh, what a beautiful nade from Ducky, and now Ipman and his teammates will have to res him up. Ducky doing a lot of damage for Team Aim Gaming, and it's time for them to rotate because the circle is not favoring them. Godlike pushing in. Gil jumps out, gets the spray, but does not miss. He missed completely. Tempest getting the spray down on the Godlike players. It is up to him. What can he do here? And Team Cells is eliminated.
Aim Gaming somehow managed to move into the zone as Orange Rock converge upon them, and at the same time Zeus is busy with Insane. Their teammates are splitting up in two different fights. This is bad. Can Aim Gaming still do this? Yes, they do. They managed to completely eliminate Team Insane, and now they can focus on Orange Rock, and to already doing way too much damage. This is bad, but somehow Orange Rock have defeated Team Aim. Only Rocky survives, and Zeus is on the other side. He's not going to be able to get to Rocky. They have confirmed this kill. Mayhem, they try to move in, but they're being kept by Orange Rock, and that shot, that's the final nail in the coffin.
Daljit, the mad Kar 98 sniper of Orange Rock, showing that he is not the person you mess with, and it's up to Orange Rock now. It looks like Orange Rock pretty much has this in the bag. Aim Gaming Zeus needs to figure out how he's going to deal with Orange Rock. Meanwhile, Godlike exists in BTC, still alive, but they did kill Smokey. Did you see that? Did you see the team kill on Godlike?
At this point, anything is possible in this game. I'm surprised how Orange Rock have all four of the players alive. They were in a horrible spot, yet they managed to keep multiple people alive. Exist, he knocks out Vampire. Now, this is a good chance. Godlike engaging with Orange Rock might just give Zeus a little chance. Mavi continues to fight Elements. Now Orange Rock, with most of their players alive, have position on Godlike and on TeamElves. But do they know that one lone member of AIM is right there in the smoke next to them?
Well, they do know that Aim Gaming is still alive, and maybe Godlike will buy Zeus some time to do some damage to Orange Rock. Maybe get a couple of kills before he gets knocked out. Orange Rock's Anto firing shots, trying to get a hit mark on anybody. Here we go. Look at the circle right now. Team Elements, Ultron, last man standing, but he has cover. TeamElves' Matt will have to rotate in quite a bit, And it looks like Orange Rock are firmly in the circle. They only have to worry about the lone AIM gaming player.
Yeah, but how long can he stay alive? If he times his attack well and, you know, eliminates Orange Rock while most of the players are down after fighting with other teams, this could be perfect. Either way.
They know
AIM
he's
Gaming
there.
have- Oh, no. Oh, this is bad.
Well,
This one's headed right towards him.
it's a smoke, so let's not get carried away. But Zeus gets the knock on Vampire, and there we go. Anto and Mavi now know that Zeus is pretty much alive. And
They threw in that smoke because they wanted to, you know, take the cover of the tree. But they never knew Zeus was there. Now they finally do. And while they try to get rid of him, Godlike has chosen the perfect time to disturb Orange Rock. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the side. Zeus, he engages with the 6x, but he gets run over. Mavi has no mercy. He doesn't take any prisoners.
Yep, Mavi was just like, no, this is our hill, not your hill. And he drives over the Zeus AIM gaming player, and Godlike now have to deal with Matt, but they finish no, Anto finishes off the TeamElves player, and now Godlike are still pretty much in the game. Both players, Ultron sneaking in nice and slow, but Carry BDC blows up Exist. What is happening with the Godlike players today? Team Element meanwhile are eliminated.
How did they make that mistake? No, Mavi, he's gonna have a nice free kill to himself. The Beryl M762 is devastating. He climbs up on the rock. There's no cover for him. Carry knocked out. Exist just managed to heal himself up in the nick of time, but he's gonna get peppered as multiple people close in on him.
Ooh, what a beautiful push. Mavi on fire gets the drive kill, that gets the road kill, then gets the double kill. He's got 5 kills on his kill feed right there. What an amazing performance from Orange Rock. It looks like these guys got their beauty sleep, because now we're seeing Orange Rock in their form like they were in the group stages. They're finally back and they're ready to kick some ass.
Yep. Before this game began, we had a discussion about the philosophy of edge versus circle. And I said Orange Rock were in a horrible spot because even though they were in the center, they were down, okay? They did not have the high ground advantage and they barely had any cover. Well, they proved me wrong, and in such a dominant fashion, they were in the center. Even though they were down, they still survived, and they had all 4 of the players alive. It's not even like they lost a single player.
Yep.
Wow, how do you do that? You just build a compound out of vehicles in the worst possible spot and still win. That's what Orange Rock is for you, ladies and gentlemen.
I think the compound is not the right word for this. I think they built a fortress, and Orange Rock took multiple fights. There we go. Mavi, the MVP, 5 kills, not that much damage, but it looks like Mavi got a nice bunch of kill steals also. But I gotta say, man, Orange Rock, the way they played that center position, I mean, that seems to be the meta. That seems to be the meta for all these top tier teams. They rush the center of the circle and they hold it like the superstars that they are.
Yeah, and that's the risk. We see that Orange Rock this time was able to hold that center like a boss. But some teams, even when they do take center, they aren't able to do it well. And that's exactly what Orange Rock is capable of. None of the other teams can do it because they don't have the amount of firepower that Orange Rock have. Mavi, one of the best players. They have Anto, and look at all these people from Orange Rock. 3 of them are in the top 5 players.
Daljeet, man, though, the snipes from that man, I would never want to be at the receiving end of his Car 98. Orange Rock, clearly like one of the best snipers in the country, if not the best. There we go. Orange Rock, Mavi, 5 kills, Daljeet, 4 kills, Vampire. We're finally seeing Orange Rock's Vampire like chime in. I do believe he's their bench, right? He's their 5th. So it's nice to see Orange Rock's Vampire. It's like they've used Vampire as their secret recipe, and Orange Rock pulling no stops, getting that chicken dinner, destroying everyone. ELMT Esports is Ultron, well done. Look at the amount of damage he dealt.
Wow.
He did play to the last circle. To props to him, like huge props to him.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you're alive in the last circle. You dish out all that damage. It's so juicy to look at. But that's the thing. Since Orange Rock had 3 players in the top 5 and they fragged out of their minds, that's how they were able to hold that position. I don't think if any other team was in Orange Rock positions, they would have been as successful as them. No, that's just an Orange Rock thing. You can't pull off central positions as well as them.
But what happened to 7 Seas Esports? What happened to Icky Mafia, Megastars? I mean, these guys, they didn't have the greatest games, and yeah, there we go, 35 points. It's not like this team needs these points, but they have it. And now it's just flexing at this point. ELMT Esports, of course, coming in second with 18 points. But AIM Gaming, what a amazing play from AIM Gaming. I mean, they were destroying Megastars. They were doing a lot of suppressive fire to Team Elements, and yeah, they were taking fights left, right, and center as well.
Yeah, and AIM Gaming needed those points. They needed as many as they could get because they are still in the danger zone. And 8 kills with 7 placement point, 15. It's not that big of a jump, but it's something. So AIM definitely is going to be moving up in the world now.
Godlike got a couple of team kills here and there, so they're going to want to be going into this break, maybe having a cup of coffee and talking over what just happened. 2 TKs in the same match. Godlike, get your shit together, guys. We've got Team Insane, Icky Mafia. I mean, Icky Mafia had 3 kills, but they were caught out in the open. They did not have the greatest fortress. In fact, it was Element's fortress which kept Icky Mafia at bay.
Yeah, they killed them and then they conquered it for themselves.
And then the nades from ELMT Esports. My God, Icky Mafia they had no chance because they were getting sprayed from everywhere, and then the nades just finished them off.
Yeah, and that's what happens, right? You know that all your enemies are bunched up inside that little corner, barely any place to hide. So they just take whatever little look and kindly then they can get and hope that the smoke keeps them alive. But you just chuck one nade in there and kaboom, you get multiple points for yourselves.
Alright, why are Ketan and Krat wearing sweatshirts? Isn't it hot in Delhi now?
It's hot in Mumbai, I can say that for sure.
Yeah, man.
I was sweating without the AC today.
Yeah, maybe they have a nice, comfortable AC along with that beautiful Hindi desk. So, Tencent, could you maybe hook us up? Could you hook up the English desk with an actual desk? That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm tired of casting out of my own studio.
Studio?
It would be really nice to have you next to me, bro.
Absolutely. We had so much of fun in PMAS. It was one of the best experiences of my life, and it was the first experience of my life as a caster. I'm obviously I'm new to the scene. You've been casting so many different games all this while, and yeah, you've had the LAN experience. So what is the difference between a LAN experience and an online cast? Like, what do you experience?
It's the vibe, bro. It's the vibe. You have 1,000, sometimes even 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, depending on how many people the stadium can accommodate. They're all screaming and cheering for you. I mean, for me, it's an ecstatic feeling, but for the players, it can really bum you out. It can really either make you feel like a rock star or make you feel super, super nervous. So
yeah,
all these emotions, it's just beautiful, man. You have to be there.
Yep, and we do hope you guys do come for the LAN whenever that is, and if Crips and I happen to be there, do come up and say hi to us. So we do not bite.
We definitely don't. But up next, we will have Sanhok, one of the hottest maps in the game, and these teams will be biting each other's heads off over there. So let's take a look at the overall standings for now and see who's on top. Marcus Gaming, Jesus, they still are up there. I mean, even after Orange Rock, even after they're getting so many points, Marcus Gaming have a massive buffer of points. I don't think anybody's getting them off the top anytime soon.
Well, you never know. 7 Seas Esports is playing, and they do have 2 chicken dinners. So maybe if they can bag a chicken dinner and a couple of kills, maybe 2 chicken dinners, then they will catch up.
Why not?
Maybe then they'll catch up. I still have a lot of money riding on 7 Seas Esports. I mean, this team has been killing it. We've got 420 OP from 7 Seas also, who's on fire. So my fingers crossed for 7 Seas. But let's look at the 9th standing to the 16th standing. Godlike slowly climbing their way up, and TeamElves remaining in the same spot, but Revenge going down. Yeah, we do expect Team Genocide also to start taking things a little seriously, because they are in danger of losing that 16th spot.
Oh yeah, and look at that. Genocide is just 1 point away from overtaking Ecstasy.
Yep.
Well, 2 points if you want to make it comfortable and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ecstasy is in a real spot right now. So if they go down, another place opens up and another team can take their place and everything. So the teams who are gonna be on the next page after this one pops. They need to get 96 points or above.
Even Team Insane for that matter. Team Insane coming in 14th position. They are playing today, so they're going to want to secure their position in the finals. And they do have the one chicken dinner, which is great, but we will need them to get at least 30 points for them to like feel a little safe. AIM Gaming now slowly climbing back up. They've got 31 kills, no chicken dinners, but after that stellar performance in Erangel, it looks like these boys are ready to kill, take some like shoot first, ask questions later. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, but look at the amount of points that Aztec and Mayhem have. 94 and 90. Now, if you remember, Genocide have completed all their 16 games and they're at 96 points. So if Aztec gets 3 more points, they're safe. And Genocide is out.
I don't want to be mean here, but minus 40, like, what are you guys doing? Like, at this point, I think minus 40 really need to step up their game. At least to try and make it to the 16th position. But they have so many teams ahead of them. I'm pretty sure they're feeling quite demoralized right now.
Yeah, it's an overwhelming feeling. And that's the difference. You feel this way over here on LAN. It's going to be a whole different beast because you have all these people cheering for you. And there are a lot of people cheering for them in chat. I know that for sure. But on LAN, it's a whole different experience and people expect you to perform. And it really messes with your emotions. It can break down the best of players and it can bring them down to their knees. That's the beauty of this game.
Have you ever played as a player in one of these LAN events? Because I have. I did play PUBG in the HP Challenger Series a few years back, and my hands were shaking. Like it gets so cold that your fingers start like freezing up, and there's so much of pressure on these players to perform in a LAN. So right now they all play from the comforts of their boot camps, their homes, whatever. But in the finals, things are going to be like turned up to like 100%.
Exactly. And Sanhok will be 100% after this. Don't go anywhere as we will be back soon after the highlights.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the semifinals, day 5. I am PC Peasants Gaming, and my co-caster here is Crips from Mumbai.
Well, thank you so much for the warm welcome, PC Peasants. It's been an amazing journey so far, and the journey has just begun. This is the final day of the semi-finals, PMCO India. Well, after this, there's just one thing left to go. It's the finals. I mean, obviously, it's not the only thing left to go. We have a wildcard qualifiers as well, so that's going to be interesting too. But before we think about the future, before we think about the finals and the wildcards, let's think about the remaining 3 games left for the day, especially the one coming up next, Sanhok. Oh, this is going to be the most fiery, the hottest Sanhok game that we have ever witnessed in this entire tournament. There's so much at stake, and a lot of teams want to get up there.
Absolutely. I mean, Sanhok is going to be one of those games where, one of those matches where everybody's going to go aggressive. They're going to want to get those kills. It is the last day of the semifinals, and a lot of these teams are facing the threat of relegation. So, yep, the pressure is on most of these teams, and it looks like the top teams also are playing very aggressively. So it's not like they need the points, but they're just playing aggressively to make a point. And it's interesting to see how Sanhok pans out for all the teams in the 17 to 24 standings.
Yeah, and keep in mind that a lot of teams who are in danger of getting eliminated are also top teams, at least on paper. So they're going to be playing extra aggressive because they desperately need to get out of that little relegation hell. And yeah, that's literally going to turn this map into hell as the plane takes off. Yep. We go all the way from Lakwai towards Hatin.
Lakavi.
Pretty much over the mainland.
Isn't it Lakavi?
Lakavi, yeah, that's what I said. Lakavi, or did I say Lakwi?
You said Lakwai, and I was like, whoa.
Oh,
it sounded like a very fancy, like, liquor. Well, we've got Mayhem going for the push. Looks like they're going directly for Sami. Aztec settling for Kampong, but Camp Bravo looks a little crowded.
Crowded, bro.
Yeah, we've got JSL. I do believe we have Team Genocide as well dropping there.
Oh, I just look at the circle and it's devastating.
Oh god, it's all the teams on the bottom of the ladder fighting it out for Camp Bravo. This is interesting. The team that wins this is going to have a lot of points, and let's see. This is just unfortunate that all these teams, Insane, GSL, and M40, the teams that really need the points, are going to battle it out. Finally, we see some early fights in Sanhok.
Yeah, and surprisingly, it's not at boot camp, the place where you would usually expect it. And look at this map. It's so nicely dissected. JSL at the very top, Insane in the center, M40 are just scrambling for cover across the edges of the Camp Bravo and trying to move in towards the center, hopefully to take a fight.
But
and all of them are huddled up together.
Crips, I got some bad news. That circle is not favoring any of these teams.
It's
a Hatin Island circle. I don't know how many of you managed to get a glimpse of the first circle, but it looks like all these teams are going to have to rotate, and it's going to be a bloodbath before we see some rotations from these teams.
The doors popped open. That's going to tell Legend that somebody is definitely present. Shots exchanged. Sky takes a bit of damage. Surprisingly, none of these teams are going for players on the top floors or, climbing up from above. All of them are firmly on the ground. Only Robin God is the one who is on the first floor, so he has some sort of vantage point. It's not even a vantage point.
And Robin God is one of those players that I wouldn't mess with. He's probably one of JSL's top players. We've seen him get a lot of frags for Team JSL. Even Surya OP, of course.
Yeah, him too.
The Clutchmeister from JSL. But Robin God, he's playing the perfect angle for his team, and he's giving all the information to his teammates right now. Team Insane, meanwhile. Oh, the shots are being fired. There we go. Robin God drawing at least first blood on Team Insane's Legend, and Legend needs to get into cover really quickly. He takes a lot of damage, and I don't think he has the heals to get back in.
Out of all these teams, JSL are the only team that have a little insurance. They have a little exit strategy since they're at the edge of the camp, close to the road where they can get some cars.
Also, JSL excels in these close quarter fights, but never mind, Glaive just got knocked out by the M40 player, and it looks like M40 are now turning their eyes to JSL. That first knock is going to give them a lot of confidence, but hopefully they don't overconfidently push. Robin God jumps down from his vantage point. Surya has a couple of angles. He fires a couple of shots, but it does not connect enough. And Robin God going for the far flank. Beautiful play from him. He has a little bit of angles on Ruthless. All he has to do...
A lot of them.
Oh, here we go. Yep, a lot of them, just as you said. He gets the knock. He tries to go for the thirst. Doesn't really work out. Surya OP finishing off Ruthless from M40. JSL Glaive still pretty much in the game. But Nexus OP is looking pretty grim right now. He's lost a lot of damage. He's back to 75 HP. And now it is M40 dangerously getting into a sandwich situation. Surya OP finding a couple of shots. Does not connect just yet. But Nexus 40 gets knocked. Oh my god. Oh my god. And they finish him off. Surya OP not taking any chances. Also getting carnage as well. M40 are getting decimated from both sides. Legend now chiming in. Gets a couple of shots on the JSL player. Rival, what is he going to do here? He gets... Oh, he finds Surya, but he does not... He does not manage to cultivate that into a kill. Surya getting the knock on Legend as well. Sky also... Oh, I'm sorry. He got the knock on Sky, and Naruto goes for the push, but Legend is outnumbered. Legend tries to retaliate, but Fayaz from JSL is not having any of it. Oh my... Jan Mara got eliminated? What?
Who is that?
Not really sure, but Fayaz pays the price. I guess he got distracted as well. Surya OP very low, so is Glaive. JSL shouldn't overextend right now. They try to finish off Sky, and they do. Robin God getting the thirst on Sky as well. Team Insane not looking good, but they quickly pick up Fayaz, and JSL Surya OP trying to get a third part. They don't have the heals, Crips.
They never had time to loot. I'm actually surprised they even have any weapons in the first place.
Glaive
Legend.
Glaive just finishing off Legend. Looking for him? No, he's just going. Yep, he finishes him off.
Yeah, there you go.
Fayaz.
But you know the funny thing is, at one point, Insane were the ones who were trapped in between M40 and JSL. Then, surprisingly, Insane just somehow skedaddled out of the fight. And JSL M40 started fighting. I thought, okay, Insane were in a bad spot. And between the teams, they managed to slip away. I thought they would just, slip away for good. But then they tried to continue fighting them after M40 was eliminated. And they thought they would have an advantage on JSL. And they should have had an advantage on JSL. Because JSL was just, they had just finished the fight with M40. But somehow, JSL turned the tables and they, finished off 2 Insane members as well.
Yep.
Whereas... they never should have been able to. Insane should have wiped the floor with them right there.
Insane needs to learn how to third party from teams like Marcos and VSG. But let's look at the circle right now. It is a Far East circle. It's not completely Hathin Island just yet. We've got Iki Mafia, of course, right outside Tambang, and between Tambang and Painan. We've got Team Genocide, maybe dangerously moving close to the Trifecta compound. But no, ELMT Esports is going to go for the Trifecta compound first. 7C is also rotating down from Camp Alpha. Lifecraft, as usual, dropping Hathin and taking over. They really spread out. Very interesting play from Lifecraft, but Tanki and his teammates, TeamElves, are now going to show up on Mega, and let's see how that fight pans out.
Yeah, Mega are at the edge. I think they were trying to swim into Hathin because the bridge is a bit too far away from them. I mean, if they go for the bridge, that also is fine because there is another team right behind them who wants to swim their way in as well, and obviously the water doesn't have enough room for the both of them, but it does have enough room for the AWM that's lying unclaimed in water over here.
We've also got Godlike and Aztecc, so slowly moving into the circle at the edge. They do have a long way to go because they're right outside Camp Charlie, but it looks like these players will maybe push for Painan. Meanwhile, Mega going for the swim towards Hathin. So they're not taking the fight, or at least they haven't been spotted out yet by the...
I mean, they could have gone for the bridge as well.
Paradox taking no chances, getting rid of the buggy as quickly as possible, but Villain is...
deleting all evidence.
Yeah, Villain is going to try to keep 4 players of Mega as they swim towards him. Maybe,
why not?
Maybe Lifecraft needs to figure things out. Oh, but Cloak gets caught out by TeamElves' Duke, and they finish him off! Oh my god, they are not having any chances. They're not taking any chances. Believe helpless. He's at the far edge. He gets a couple of shots in. Sneepu has been knocked by Shadow and been Mayhem back in the game. Believe almost knocking out Duke, but Duke manages to make it by the skin of his teeth so far. Shots are now landing on Matt. TeamElves are on the run. They get spotted out. Believe is just on fire. They are so pissed that they just lost Cloak that they are not going to let TeamElves run away with that kill.
And you know, Mayhem has been caught in the situation before as well. You remember that one game where they were just bouncing around from coast to coast in that little jet ski of theirs? Yeah, they had trouble over there as well. But here, the trouble brews in Hatin as Lifecraft now get engaged by Team Mega. They finally made it. Their swim is over and now the fight begins. Lifecraft Villain desperately clinging to cover as he runs helter-skelter, hoping that they don't find him, but find him they will. And Villain will thirst him.
This is why you don't spread yourself so thin.
Well, Mega, they at least try to save him. They knock out Clowny, and they're trying to move in towards the city of Hatin back again. Lifecraft, they did manage to hold their ground at least for some time. But will they be able to, withstand the relentless onslaught from Team Mega as they continue moving in?
Well, JSL and Team Insane also rotating into the circle, and the circle moves further to the west. And there we go, Paradox finishing off Clowny. But hey, Team Genocide getting the M249 drop. Does Critic have any idea that there's an M249 waiting outside?
He must have.
He might know soon enough, but all these teams need to rotate. That is a long rotation for Insane, for JSL, and even for Godlike, who are at Sami right now.
Yeah, Insane and JSL haven't even made their way out of the blue yet. They're just starting to enter the no damage zone. But Mayhem looks like he has a lot of damage planned for TeamElves as the nade connects. Duke finished off. There is one more player right there, but for now, let's take a look at Orange Rock versus Genocide.
Ooh, Duke getting the knock on Orange Rock's Mavi, and Orange Rock are kind of out in the open. Can Daljit clutch this for his teammates, as Mavi is going to get finished off quickly by Critic. Critic not taking any chances, but Daljit gets caught out by Ash Gamer, and this is not looking good as Orange Rock are losing two members of their team right now. Anto and Vampire disengage as the Team Genocide players finish off Daljit. What a disappointing play from Orange Rock. They had such an amazing first game, but unfortunately they did not have cover, and Team Genocide have finished them off. Now Anto is caught between but Vampire getting the knock on Team ELMT Esports. Orange Rock now sandwiched between Element and Team Genocide, and it looks like Team Element is going to quickly want to finish off Orange Rock so that they can secure maybe a win in Sanhok.
If Orange Rock managed to somehow move away, which they won't be able to, Prince has knocked him out. Vampire, I think if he... I don't know if it's a good idea for him to go and revive Anto.
Nope.
He should just probably try to run away. Hopefully, maybe pick up a couple of points when the fight between Elements and Team Genocide starts. And it is going to start pretty soon. Genocide are hearing these shots and they're moving in. Anto's been left with the dead.
Yep.
But maybe if Orange Rock plays their cards well, if Vampire stays at a safe but far distance away, should be able to pick up a couple of kills from the remaining members of Genocide.
Well, I wouldn't mess with so many teams, and Vampire made the right decision. He's now going to try to play for Circle at least. And Genocide XDD catching Ultron, getting a couple of shots in, but not enough to get a knock. And Team Genocide are going to defend this position as much as they can. Now let's see if Team ELMT Esports can come back in this another 1v1 team situation, because we know ELMT Esports generally do survive a battle if they don't have to worry about any other team. So this is going to be an interesting fight to watch.
Yeah, but so far Elves are safe in this compound. Icky Mafia is around them, and Mayhem have the edge. Not at the edge, well, like the mountain on top of that. So there's another three-way battle happening in some other part of the map, while we are currently seeing Genocide versus Elements, which surprisingly for now seems to have taken a little break.
It's okay, Team Genocide is going to chill out and wait for Team Element to make a mistake. And now we have AIM Gaming. I do believe...
Trifecta.
Yeah, yes, we are in the Trifecta area, and this is going to be an important choke point for this circle especially, We've got Team Genocide, of course, having the best point right now. But Aim Gaming can definitely gatekeep JSL as they push in from boot camp towards their position. Team Insane taking the longer route via Painan. And they don't seem to have any problems just yet. Godlike creeping up on Mayhem from the south, and Aztecc now in shooting distance of Mayhem right outside Tambang.
Yeah, Celts are going for the safest approach. I think the only team which is safer than them is Insane, because the circle does favor Insane quite a bit. Aim and JSL have to fight their way in. They only have Robin God, who's moving in from another bridge away from the rest of his team. So even if JSL lose this fight against Team Aim, at least one of their members will survive. But look at Ruins. It's the central position, and teams are going to fight for center. Elements within spitting distance of Team Orange Rock. Both these teams are really good at holding compounds. Both these teams are really good in 1v1s. Let's see who comes out on top.
I mean, this is kind of in the favor of ELMT Esports because Vampire is the last man standing. Anyway, JSL finally entering the Aim Gaming compound and paying heavy prices. Look at Vampire quietly with his QBZ and his 6X. Not trying to make any noise. Not trying to give away his position. He's going to just have to sit quietly. But never mind. Prince catches him out, sniffs him out like a hound, and finishes him as quickly as he can. Aim Gaming now trying to thirst glaive of Team JSL. JSL need to figure out what they want to do here, because this is a circle they want to take. Aim Gaming is slightly outside the circle, but they are going to take their time to gatekeep and then move in.
Celts, we saw them in the water a couple of seconds ago. They've already lost one of their players. Red is holding his breath under the water, hoping that he only has to resurface for a couple of seconds. He is going to have to resurface eventually, but they find him, and he's dead in the water.
Fish food, Team Cells eliminated. I'm not really sure what they were doing. Even Atanki was rotating far from the Hatin Island via the water, but I'm guessing he just got caught off. And Team Mega, Vexy, now they not only finished off Atanki, who's, I'm guessing it's his boat right there, but they also finished off Red. And now Mega are going to slowly rotate into the circle with Lifecraft hot at their heels.
Lifecraft is hot at their heels. They have a nice big wall of 7Cs players ahead of them. This is just a really, really messy battle over there.
And now we have 7Cs Esports, who have the best possible compound, I believe, in terms of a zone prediction, unless the Sanhok circle is finicky. So we have ELMT Esports, of course, taking up Ruins, Team Genocide taking up the north of Ruins, and will probably try to gatekeep Mega and Lifecraft as they rotate in. JSL has gone for the long rotation in the second bridge and managed to circumvent Aim Gaming.
Yeah, they sent Robin God away from the rest of his team via the longer bridge. The team members who did try to cross paths via the compound of Trifecta, with Aim Gaming, they died. And now JSL is at a man disadvantage moving into these last final circles.
Yep, and now we've got Iki Mafia and 7Cs. The battle for the zone, hopefully, unless the circle decides to move eastwards and ruin it for everybody. Meanwhile, JSL Robin God retaliates, getting a knock on Aim's Zeus. And looks like JSL is going to take the fight with Aim Gaming, but Rocky manages to get the trade on Robin God. It is Surya and Robin versus 4 players of Aim Gaming, and Aim Gaming is not going to let this fight go to waste. They will take those 2 kills, they will take their loot, and let's see how this pans out.
Yeah, they're going to finish what they started. And Surya, he's finished with meds.
Yep.
He's done. He has no heals. He's going to have to fight at half HP. He's got a foot in the grave already. And Surya, he's trying to stay out of the grave for as long as possible. But Ducky, he's going to find him. And he's already sent his teammate away from him. So
that level 1 vest was not going to help Surya. And Robin is now he's booking it.
No meds.
But he's got no meds, a damage level 2 helmet, and a level 1 vest. So Robin God is extremely squishy right now.
Yeah, you just need one bullet to put him out of his misery. The scooter's not gonna last for long either.
Yep.
If he even bashes a tree right there, he's dead. And there right there.
He bashes Team Aztecc instead, and the tree. and he pays the heavy price. Now 7Cs have spotted Lifecraft out in the water, but never mind, ELMT Esports are now pushing Team Aztecs, and now Aztecs need to make a stand here against both Team Insane and Elements.
Oh, this is a tough situation for Aztec. They're in the zone for sure, but Insane is pushing in on them. They're knocking the doors of the circle, and Elements is already behind them. Meanwhile, another fight between 7Cs and Mega breaks out. I believe this is in the compound we saw where we thought the zone was going to be, right?
Yep, this is the compound we thought the zone was going to be. But hey, look, ELMT Esports are playing this perfectly. They are in ruins. They have a ton of cover. They have multiple angles to shoot from. And there you go. Look at Ultron trying to... See, they have so many windows to shoot from. They can literally keep rotating within ruins and keep their opponents guessing again and again.
And it's so difficult to storm ruins. There's water all around you, open spaces. So if someone's approaching Team Elements, they're gonna see them coming from a mile away.
Some nutty sprays from Ultron, but Rocky just about survives. And Ultron's not gonna let him move. It's a game of chicken between Ultron, but Ultron turns away. He's now looking for some other opponent, and Rocky just gets a little bit of time, breathing space to rotate. Meanwhile, Team Insane's Tempest and Naruto are right behind Aztecs, and both these teams have to worry about Team Element, who are raining hellfire from ruins.
Yeah, they're raining hellfire in every direction. Luckily, Elements is focusing on aim right now. They already knocked out Ip Man. Naruto, though, he really wants to go in for this. He's been spotted, takes the little beef hiatus, uses that time to heal, but doesn't account for kills them around the corner. And he's going to get the thirst as well. Insane down to their last member. What are they possibly going to do out of this situation? Aztecs still have plenty of players alive, but Tempest, he's going to have to hide over here and hope, just pray to God that Team Mayhem or anybody else in the world doesn't find him.
Well, Aztec's going for the cheeky rotates, but the circle has favored 7Cs, Iki Mafia, and potentially Mega as they come in from the northern bridge. Even Team Genocide are going to be enjoying the second circle. Sorry, this is the fifth circle. And ELMT Esports will have to rotate out of ruins finally. Iki Mafia getting a knock on exist from Godlike. And here we go, AIM Gaming going for the risky push. Maybe they will have to fight Team Genocide and push forward. They take a lot of heavy casualties from Team Genocide. AIM Gaming lose Zeus and take a lot of damage from Genocide again.
Rocky, he does manage to get the trade back on to carry. I'm sorry, Critic. Noob, he's also pretty low. XDD, he jumped, and as soon as he jumped, he was spotted, but he still managed to let the shot on the Ducky. Nice one. He's just bought his team a little bit more time. Ip Man now steps up, trying to finish off what his teammate started, but the Molotov bounces right off the window and under it. So that one fails, and that's going to allow Team Genocide to get just a little more time to get rest up.
Yep, Team Genocide now have to worry about Mega, who are pushing from the... Oh my god, what is happening here as Smokey and Gil jump into the water. Lifecraft's Exotic and Noob right behind them.
This is comical.
Yeah.
This is just so comical. How do they not realize what's happening?
I'm surprised. But Godlike gets knocked out by a 7C's 420, and AIM Gaming finally out of the game. Team Genocide eliminating both the players. It's over for AIM.
Yeah, but 7Cs have the best position, and they're wiping the floor with everyone. Gil is the only member from Godlike who managed to do something, but then dies to the zone eventually. 420 now lays down the fire upon the remaining players of Lifecraft who are just crawling into the zone. Yep. Exotic doesn't even have any chance of making it into this game, so Lifecraft are pretty much in, they're not even in, they're pretty much out. But Noob YTP, he does manage to knock out Smokey. Oh, that's great. Where is Noob YTP?
He is on the canyon, but 420 OP finishes him off as well. And what? Mayhem have been eliminated. We didn't really see much of Mayhem.
Yeah. We didn't see anything from them, actually.
Yeah, we just saw the initial push of Mayhem on TeamElves, and that's about it. And Exotic will now die to the circle. I love how Godlike's Gil got that last cheeky thirst on Final Boss before dying to the play zone. Very smart right there.
At least he manages to get 1 point before he finally hits the ground.
Alright, here
we go. This is the risky push. Insane somehow are making their way towards ruins, while Team Element is busy battling Genocide. Why did Genocide even move into this area? They could have gone down the other side where it's completely safe. Either way, what's done is done, and now they need to survive this. Ash Gamer has a little ridge for cover, and he's gonna... Nope, he's not gonna get the opportunity as Viru goes in for the kill, and he overextends. Megastars, they are out of this. The 7Cs are taking heavy casualties. They get knocked out as well.
Yep.
Element, their job was just done for them by both these teams, and Ultron, he only needs to focus on Genocide now.
Team ELMT Esports still at the edge of the circle. They have lost one player, but Team Genocide is pretty much in the game right now. And never mind, ELMT Esports' Gubber forms puts Neonag out of his misery. Zeref manages to get the trade. So it's 4 teams right now. We've got Team Genocide, ELMT, Iki Mafia, and the lone insane Tempest, who might spell trouble for Team Elements if they don't spot him
How
out.
is he still alive? I'm actually very surprised. How did they not find him yet? I thought he would have died ages ago. His teammates died ages ago. Either way, it's a 3-way battle with like one lone member of Team Insane just hanging around in the background.
Good.
Genocide have all 4 players, but they don't have the position.
Could Tempest be
Elements.
the wild card, by the way? Like if he aggroes ELMT Esports right when Iki Mafia spots them out, ELMT Esports again will be choking. But they seem to have some of the best positions right now. Even Team Genocide is playing it really safe.
Yeah.
They
Only Iki Mafia's in trouble.
Yep, and Iki Mafia Spain is now going for the far rotation towards the north. Ash Gamer finally knocking out Zeref, and it is last man standing for Iki Mafia. Pain.
He's doing quite a lot, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it. Maybe if he finds Genocide when they're busy dealing with Ultron. And Ultron, Elements don't even need to worry about Insane anymore. They found that last remaining player. And Pain, he delivers the pain as he nicely lands a spray down onto Double. Ultron finds Critic as well, but he gets knocked down by XTD. Wonderful trading as both these teams go for the double peaks. XTD, he is laying down punishment so much for his team, and he might just clutch the entire game out, but he needs to get into the zone. Oh, it just stopped. They're just in the zone, and they're just barely alive at the edge of a cliff.
Well, the
Iki
circle
Mafia.
is back on Iki Mafia and Pain. All Pain needs to do is just wait for the push from Critic. Critic throws a nade. It does not land on Pain, and now ELMT Esports need to quickly get back in, but they are going for the revive. Never mind, Ultron is dead. ELMT Esports has been eliminated by XTD of Team Genocide, and now it is a 3v1 between Team Genocide and Iki Mafia. Iki Mafia survivability to the max. I can't believe Pain survived this long, and Pain's gonna take a lot of damage, and Iki Mafia are pretty much done for. GG, well played Iki Mafia, but Team Genocide snatch the chicken dinner.
Yes, and they desperately needed to. Keep in mind that Genocide was one of those teams who were at the bottom of the last page of the teams. So, getting that chicken dinner, and I think they got more than 10 kills. They should have 30 in the bag, at least for now, which means they're safe somewhere in the 80 point something. I mean, that's the average amount of points they have. Still not out of danger, but they've done well enough in this one.
But
And actually, I'm very surprised that Elements died over there.
ELMT Esports with the 19 points, kill points. Let's see what happens in the overall standings, but MVP goes to Ash Gamer. Of course, 5 kills, 445 damage. But I gotta say, XDD, in my opinion, should have been the MVP because he really stood his ground and he eliminated ELMT Esports almost single-handedly.
Yeah, he got the impact points. He got the points for killing the right people at the right time, even though Ash Gamer has higher number of kills. Don't get me wrong, 5 kills is impressive. But, yeah, all of Team Genocide stepped up today, so it was the team effort, and Genocide, even though they were at a massive disadvantage at one point, they managed to make it up all the way up to the top. Just when they needed to. Everyone in their team stepped up when they desperately needed them to.
Absolutely, and Tempest from Team Insane, they're going to be feeling pretty happy that he managed to sneak into the last circle. I was expecting Iki Mafia to like catch ELMT Esports out in the open. He did.
Yeah,
He did manage to do a lot of damage. Pain, especially getting that second knock on Gubber, which actually turned the tides of the battle for ELMT Esports, and that's why they They took so much of damage from Ash Gamer, XDD, and look at that, top 5 players. Ash Gamer from Team Genocide, XDD from Team Genocide, but we've also have 2 players from Element. We've got Ultron and Prince. Team Ultron was just amazing this game. I think they had the most amount of kills, almost 19 points in total. So let's see how many kills they actually got. And Mega, I'm surprised Mega couldn't put up with the pressure from Team Genocide. So props to Genocide. They took 3 fights. They took AIM Gaming first, then they took Mega, and then they finally took Element. So yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of scalps in the bag.
Yep.
So they have not just a chicken dinner, they have a lot of kills to support them as well. Yeah, this should be enough to, boost them up all the way to the top of the last page. They just need like a few more points to tip them over the edge and into the safe zone. Yep, 31 points, like I said. Impressive stuff. Even Elements, they have 9 kills. Okay, not bad at all. But Genocide with 11 got the highest kills in this game.
It's not like Element Esports needs the points, but Iki Mafia definitely do. Those 16 points are going to push them up a little bit. Megastars, another team, again, they don't really need the points, but 8 frags. Look at these teams. 11 frags to Team Genocide, 9 frags to Element, 8 frags to Megastars, even 7Seas Esports with the 5 frags. Mayhem, they had the one team eliminated, which I believe was not TeamElves, but some other team. They got a couple of frags on TeamElves. But we didn't get to see really what happened, unfortunately, to Mayhem. JSL, AIM Gaming, Aztecc. I mean, JSL again, 5 kills, well done. They got that early fight at Camp Bravo on -40. They got them eliminated.
And Insane.
And Insane, they got 2 kills on Team Insane as well. But those 6 points are not really going to move them up. But hey, at least they're definitely playing a YOLO game at this point, because they know they're not going to be qualifying for the finals. So they're just like having fun, clearly.
Yeah, and I don't mean to be rude, but that's the best for us viewers, because we get to see relentless, reckless Team JSL, and that's always amusing and very entertaining to look at. So, yep, entertainment to the max.
Yeah, guys, keep doing YOLO plays. We would love that. I'm sure the viewers would love that as well. Well, we have Miramar coming up next. And what are your bets on Miramar? What are your predictions, Crips?
So Miramar is one of those maps where I expect Team Mayhem to do well. Although they are getting the rotations right, somehow Team Mayhem have just dropped off a cliff when it comes to taking frags. I'm assuming Orange Rock is going to do really well, because they have shown us that they can hold down not the most preferable places, but they still managed to turn those death traps into a nice chicken dinner. So Orange Rock is going to be doing well. Either way, we have overall standings on board. 7Seas Esports, they climbed up quite a bit in this one with 196 points, just about to breach 200. Elements take a massive leap at 193. Somewhere before this, they were at 170 something. So that's great. Remember, they slipped down. Obviously, the games are over for the day, so they can't do anything about it. Megastars, they also climbed up quite a bit, and so did Orange Rock.
Well, Orange Rock did climb up, but they dropped a standing to Megastars, and now we have Team Genocide. There we go. That second chicken dinner pushes them slightly into the safer zone. But 13th position is still not safe. Aztecc also moving in slowly into 16th place. Now remember, when we're saying safe, we're saying this because the top 16 teams are the ones which go to the finals. So all these teams need to gather enough points till the end of the day for them to make it into the finals.
Yep. Out of the 24, only 16 will make it to the finals. That is, the bottom 8 teams are gonna end their journey in the PMCO spring split. They're gonna have to wait for the fall split, or hope that they get lucky in the wildcard qualifiers. Either way, this team, the one team that I really want to talk about today, is Lifecraft. What a brilliant performance. Even in Sanhok, you saw how they were in the water and they were in so much danger, yet they managed to survive long enough.
Yep, Lifecraft is finally making those 200 IQ plays. But hey, Mayhem have moved up ahead. They are closer to getting qualified. And I do think Mayhem is going to try to capitalize on the Miramar map, a map that they're pretty strong at. and secure their place in the top 16 standings. So Aztecs need to really outperform Mayhem to retain their 16th position. Iki Mafia moving up in life, but still a couple of teams away from the 16th position. So they really need another chicken dinner and a decent number of frags if they want to qualify for the finals.
Yes, they do. They need at least 10, 15 points in order to get up there. And Mayhem's closer to doing that. The next map's going to be Miramar. Historically, not the strongest map for Iki Mafia, so they are in a load of trouble. Same goes for TeamElves and Team Aim Gaming. Aim Gaming, surprisingly, on the very first day of the group stages, they showed that they can do pretty well in Erangel and Miramar because their rotations were nice. But then it just fell off. I don't know what happened to them.
Well, we did see Aim Gaming in the first match of today play Erangel quite well, but unfortunately, like, they did get eliminated by Orange Rock. They put a lot of bullets on Mega. They did manage to get Mega eliminated, but it just, that final push didn't work out for them. Even Zeus, who was the last man standing for Aim Gaming, did his best in my opinion, but Orange Rock's Mavi drove over him. Got the kill steal, and yeah, that was it.
Yep. So the first two games of the day have been pretty entertaining. They have been very action-packed. All the teams are playing the smartest PUBG. You noticed how many really smart rotations we got to see today in Erangel and even in Sanhok. That's top-level PUBG right there. All these teams have adapted to each other, and
Absolutely.
they know each other's tendencies. They're thinking 10 steps ahead, and that's why we are having so much fun today.
Yeah, even JSL, a team that's at the bottom of the standings, but hey, they were very careful about the rotations. They took the right fights when they could, and unfortunately they got gatekept by Aim Gaming, but they still like carried on. Unfortunately, Robin ended up crashing into a tree and having to deal with Aztecs. Now let's look at the kill leaders. The dude from Marcos Gaming, the kill leader of the semifinals, 31 kills, but 420 OP is very close to beating him because he's got 2 more matches remaining, and he just might. 31 kills as well. Pansing, third place from Marcos Gaming again with 30 kills, but Ultron also with 30 kills coming in 4th place.
Wow.
And Revenge Esports is Akshay, of course, with 29 kills, but Revenge Esports isn't playing today, so looks like Akshay will be retaining his 5th position. Let's see who is 6th to 10th also.
I mean, I think 420 and Ultron might just, overtake Pansing and the dude. They might just take the number 1, 2 and spot for themselves. Either way, I still think Team Marcos should be pretty happy with whatever they've done. They got 3 players in the top 10, which is like most of their team is in there. Max Cash with 27 kills. So Marcos are doing a really good job.
Yeah, Marcos is killing it, and Team Tamil also had like a bunch of kills. Manti OP wrecking those other teams, 26 kills. We got to see some really good plays and some. I'm sure he's got some great highlights for his Instagram. Again, we have ELMT Esports' Prince coming in 8th place with 26 kills. See, did you see the kill spread for this team? ELMT Esports is dangerous. And there's
so many kills on so many teams.
There's a reason why Marcos Gaming's owner was like, hey, that's one team that we're definitely like keeping an eye on. But Orange Rock's Mavi also not too far behind with 24 kills. Mavi playing very aggressive today. We saw some very interesting plays from him in Erangel in the first match, and I'm sure he's thirsty to get to the top 5 kill leader standings. And then let's not forget Megastars, Swag. It's a name that we have not mentioned because the screen tends to change very quickly, but he has 23 kills, 4,000 damage, and he is rocking it for his team, Megastars.
Well, you did mention that you happened to talk to the owner of Team Marcos, and he said that Elements is something to worry about. Tell me something more about this conversation. Which other teams do Marcos consider a threat? Because Marcos is number 1 right now, and if Marcos considers someone a threat, then that team indeed is dangerous.
Well, it's more like a point system thing, but we will discuss it when we come back in the next map. And we're back to the semi-finals day, the last day, in fact, of the semi-finals. I am PC Peasants Gaming, and I have Crips here. We are your casters, and we are the English desk. And you are watching the beautiful, sexy gentlemen of the Hindi desk, K18 and Krat. What's up, Crips?
Yeah, I'm just looking at both of these gentlemen wearing their glasses. Ketan has a nice orangish tint. Manu with the clear vision eyes, and both of these gentlemen, they're sitting in Delhi, right next to each other. Unfortunately, I can't be in the same room as you because I'm in Mumbai, you're in Chennai, and this beautiful game encapsulates the spirit of PUBG Mobile in India. No matter where you are, you can play with your friends and you can watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Them as well.
North India, South India represent, boys. So
all the way.
Yep, that's the English desk for you guys. So all right, we have match 3 coming up next, and it is Miramar. And as you and I have been discussing in the break and in general, Mayhem's going to be hopefully making the comeback in Miramar. What do you think? Let's elaborate on this Miramar nonsense.
Yeah. So Miramar is this one map where teams need to take control of cars really well, spread out perfectly because there's barely any cover. So you really need to know the terrain. I'm hoping Mayhem will be able to bounce back in this one because in Sanhok, we know for a fact that Mayhem is no longer the #1 aimer in the country. They no longer have the firepower. Everyone else has stepped up. So the only thing that can save them is the rotations, and the only place where they can show off these rotations and show that they're tactically superior is Miramar. They won't get the same chance in Erangel. They won't get the same chance in Sanhok. So this is their time.
Yep, this is their time to shine, and they better because they are very much in the danger of getting relegated and not making it to the finals. So let's talk about some of the other teams that really need to worry about all this. We've got Aztecc Esports who are going head-to-head with, I believe, Lifecraft? No.
No. Lifecraft is pretty much safe over here. Aztecs, on the other hand, they're still down there. They have to fight off against teams like -40, AIM Gaming, and everyone else.
Yeah, so let's see what Aztecc Esports does. Who was in the position 70? Let's just look at... Yeah, here we go. This is way up in the tippy top of the standings. This is Megastars versus Orange Rock. Look at Megastars go. 79 kills, 65 kills to Orange Rock. Both these teams are playing today, so let's see how these teams also perform. Megastars is on fire. Look at the damage that they're dishing out right there. They have 2 chicken dinners. Both teams have 2 chicken dinners. And right now, this is the flex of both these teams. They're just going to try to outdo each other. Right now, Megastars is winning. But we did see Orange Rock win that first chicken dinner in Erangel. We didn't see them much in Sanhok. But maybe we will see them come back in Miramar.
Yeah, Megastars haven't been performing well in Sanhok. In Erangel also, they were kinda all over the place. So Miramar is something that both these teams really need to get down and dirty in. I mean, at one point, it's a matter of pride. Obviously, both these teams are going to make it to the finals. That's without a doubt. But in order to get those flexing points and bragging power, you need to, get ahead of them. And even though Orange Rock boasts of better players, Mayhem have just been better as a cohesive unit, better as a team.
Yep, Mayhem has been...
Mega.
Yeah, Mega has been the better unit, but we do expect to see some magic from Mavi. Mavi is on fire today, and let's see if he can sustain that energy, that speed, that momentum, that violence. Now we also have to talk about AIM Gaming. AIM Gaming had a very strong Erangel game, but they kind of choked it towards the end because of Orange Rock. But let's see if AIM Gaming can come back in the subsequent matches. We do have 2 players on the screen right now, Ultron and 420. 7Seas Esports is 420 and Ultron from Team Element. 31 kills and 30 kills. All the kill leaders are not too far from each other, just 1 or 2 kills apart. So we will see some kill leader shuffles after the Miramar match.
Yeah, but look at the distance traveled on 7C's 420 OP. Why do I keep calling him 720? It's like I just combine the name into one, stupid number.
420 OP, man. 420. Come on, the three-digit number. Yeah.
7C's 420. Never mind. You get what I'm saying. You get why I'm confused. Either way,
we've got a lot of like potheads, I think, in PMCO. we've got Blazy, we've got 420. I mean, I'm just saying.
All of those pot references.
Yeah.
Either way, the distance traveled on 420 OP was much higher, which goes to show that Livecraft, they move around more than Team Elements, because Elements just go from point to point, they capture the centers and they keep it crisp and concise. Meanwhile, Livecraft, they try to go for safer rotations at some point, and they try to get into the thick of the actions in the other times. So Livecraft is more flexible than ELMT Esports at this time.
Yep, I mean, Livecraft has been finally performing, and they always seem to do on the last day. Like, even in the group stages, they just about made it to the semis. And in the last couple of days, of course, Livecraft has been killing it, and they will want to keep up the pressure so that they can comfortably secure their top 16 standings. So let's see what happens in the map of Miramar. But before we see that, maybe we'll get a crack at the overall standings and understand where these teams are placed.
Yeah, so far Livecraft seems to be pretty safe. I think they are in the 11th or 10th place. My memory needs to be jogged up a bit. But as far as I know, Livecraft is safe. It really is Elements who just, they want to go ahead and take down people like Orange Rock and 7C's. Obviously, we just established their rivalry with them. And maybe even take a shot at wherever Marcos is, because they are way too high up in the leaderboards.
Right, and it's Aztecs and Mayhem. So I believe Aztecs is in the 16th position, and Mayhem is in the 17th position. So I got the teams wrong. So these are the two teams that are head-to-head for... basically, they need to get as many points as they can and move safely into the top 16 position. Aztec needs to defend Mayhem, and Mayhem needs to do the push.
Yeah, both these teams had a really good group stage. Aztecs were dominating. Mayhem finished on the absolute tippy-top. I think they had like a 30-point difference between them and the second place in group stage. And now, both these teams are in danger of getting eliminated. So, what a turn of tables. From the absolute top to the absolute bottom, these teams have been through everything, and now they need to put in their everything in order to survive in this tournament.
Yep, and there's a lot of pressure on both these teams, especially Aztecs, because Aztecs had some really great games in group stages, but the semis have not been kind. Similarly, actually, Mayhem was amazing in the group stages, but the semis have also not been kind to them. So both these teams had strong group stage games. Of course, Mayhem had the stronger one. And let's see how these teams battle it out. They're not too different from each other. If you see the stats, they're almost comparable.
Yeah, but the only difference between Mayhem and Aztecs is Mayhem can sometimes turn the tide of the battle even when they are at a disadvantage. Aztecs desperately need the better position in order to, come out on top. When you put them in an odd situation, Aztecs almost always crumble under pressure. So maybe that's something that they can fix before the next tournament. But I don't think they want to wait for the next tournament. They just have 2 games to figure out whatever they're going to do and get back in this.
Yep, it's going to be interesting. Do you have any favorites between Mayhem and Aztecs?
Between the two, I would still pick Mayhem. Even though Aztecs is ahead of them in terms of ranking, I think Mayhem know how to rotate better overall. But I think Aztecs has the better sense of third-partying and everything. We did see they try to go for third parties in Sanhok. It didn't really pan out for them. But maybe they can make it work on Miramar. So,
well, historically, Miramar is a map that Mayhem has shown us a lot of interesting plays on, and I think all Mayhem has to do is play the way they generally play in Miramar, and they are safe. Aztecs, actually, as you said correctly, they need to step up and win a chicken dinner urgently for them to secure their position in the finals, which is on 22nd of Feb or 23rd.
I mean, you just mentioned that Mayhem needs to play the way they usually do, and that sent me in a whole different thought process. You see, a lot of teams are trying to counter each other because they know how they play now, right? We saw those early fights in Primorsk in Erangel, which we haven't seen before in the entire tournament. So as the qualifiers come to an end, some teams have started adapting to the other one, so they make moves assuming that someone else will make another move and they counter it. Meanwhile, there are some teams who just don't give a damn about what the other teams are doing and they continue playing their own thing. So in the last day of the semifinals, do you counter the other team or do you play your own thing? That also is a very interesting philosophy to discuss. I mean, just like
it's
we discussed center versus
risky.
edge.
It's a risky move to change up your play style, but unless and until these teams have multiple strategies and they are going to start showing their hands, because the marathon is now a sprint for the finals, and all these teams will try to pull out all their secret recipes, all their secret moves from their sleeves. So here we go with the plane path is already on the screen. Miramar has started. Mayhem going for a Impala drop. Aim Gaming and Aztecc also jumping out. Orange Rock jumping towards the north. Will they maybe go for Hacienda? Daljit also jumping. Let's see where these teams go. Yep, looks like Mayhem and Aztecc are going for the Impala Puerto direction of the map.
Yeah. You know what? Godlike really like dropping San Martin, but I think Orange Rock today will contest them. Orange Rocks usually go for, the open spaces in between water treatment, Hacienda, San Martin and everything. Let's see what happens over there this time. Do teams prepare for the San Martin fight? Because that usually is a massive rotation point for most of them. Either way, in Los Leones, we have Team Genocide and Team Lifecraft. The circle is heavily towards the north, which means teams who are in Chumacera and in Montenuvo and in Latruela are pretty much screwed. Team M40 and Cells heading towards Latruela. And while I say that, 7 Seas, they already engage with JSL and Pecado. Final boss, he finishes one off. He does take a little bit of damage, but in the stadium, JSL can't harm them.
Absolutely. 7C is going for the 200 IQ stadium plays. JSL's of course taken the apps, which is generally what a lot of teams do, but with one man lost to JSL. JSL's clearly playing the YOLO game at this point. They really don't care. They know they're not going to make it to the finals, so they're probably just having fun. And it'll be interesting to see how Fayaz, Robin God, and Surya OP play this out.
Yep, we have the circle on our screen once again. JSL and it was final boss 7 Cs in Pecado. They're still safe. They're in the zone. That's nice.
Yeah.
Insane on the north of San Martin. Orange Rock in Hacienda. Okay, then Orange Rock didn't go directly for San Martin. That's interesting. I was expecting an early fight there as well. Either way, the early fights will be between Team Cells and M40, who are currently in Shumi. Then we have TeamElves safe in Valdemar, but they have a long rotate ahead of them. Then we have Mega in Mount Nuvo, and they also are pretty safe. So that's nice. I guess the early fights will be happening in Impala, where Iki Mafia and Mayhem are close by, but Mayhem is kind of scurrying away from Impala, so Iki Mafia have it all for themselves.
So this is the most interesting thing about Mayhem. So Mayhem knows they don't have the circle. They are going for the zone prediction right now, early game, because they do not want to be caught out in the open, especially in Miramar, where getting caught out in the open when you do not have vehicles, when you do not have sniper rifles, is sure death. So they're going for the early rotation. Team Genocide, of course, is at Los Leones along with Lifecraft, so we might see some action there, as you said, but even Lifecraft is starting to rotate as well to the circle.
Yeah, but these teams, they are in no hurry whatsoever. One of the things I like about Pecado is the fact that there's plenty of vehicles around this town. So if these teams do get stuck, they still have plenty of exit options.
Ooh, what a beautiful nade. Robin God eats it. He did not expect that. I did not see the player. It was 420 OP, of course, with the nade. And what a beautiful nade indeed. Robin God needs to go to the other end of apartments, and it looks like JSL is going to try to waste 7C's time as much as possible, and then rotate, because right now they don't care. I mean, they have nothing to win or lose here. They're already going to they're already going to get eliminated but at the
Yeah.
end of this, so they might as well just have some fun and spoil it for another team.
Yeah, and spoiler for 7Cs, who is one of the top teams. You do see that Trigger and 420 OP are still in the stadium. Meanwhile, Viru and Final Boss, I think, were going around the other side of Picado.
Yep.
They were trying to get an angle onto JSL, and looks like Surya OP, he will be under fire very soon. 7C's 420 OP seems to have an inkling, but he can't see him because of the wall. Either way, he's going to have to rely on his teammates to give him as much information, because 420 doesn't have a lot of loot by just, licking up the stadium. Meanwhile, on another part of the map, we have Genocide. This is Los Leones.
Alright, Surya OP has spotted our Final Boss and has managed to connect a couple of shots, so they know that Viru and Final Boss are going for the 4-story in Picado, and he's probably relayed that information to Robin God. So Robin God and Surya OP are now turning their eyes to the southern end of Picado. Meanwhile, Fayaz is waiting in the far eastern end of Picado, waiting for a possible rotate from Driger and 420 as they leave. Yep, he's look at that. He's playing the patient game. He doesn't have the greatest loot, but he's just waiting for this team to push out of the stadium. Oh my god, Final Boss just had an angle but did not manage to connect. Robin God and Surya OP have the team split up, so they're going for the push. It's a 2v2 in the 4-story. Final Boss and Vito now need to set up shop as Surya and Robin push up the 4-story. And Driver 420 OP have received the message, and the cavalry is on their way.
Yeah, the cavalry is gonna definitely make things very awkward for JSL. They have to, finish off teams who are above them, and the members of 420. Not the members of 420, the members of 7Cs. That's what happens when there's too many numbers. I don't like numbers. Either way, the numbers advantage definitely is with 7Cs, as it's a 4v3 situation. Might even turn into 4v2 if Fias continues to remain where he is. So they know they can't go upstairs because 7Cs is there, and the remaining members are also closing in. The only escape they have is the little bunch of huts to the right-hand side of this building. I don't think that's also going to be possible, because 420 OP, not 420 OP, Final Boss is on top of the roof, and he won't let them go anywhere. He won't even let them leave this building. They're trapped here.
And the circle has moved to the northeastern side of the map. And Viru takes a shot. He gets a little hit, but never mind. 420 manages to get Robin God, gets the knock on him. And now the 7Cs players are going to start pushing downwards to go for the thirst. 420 going for the push here. Can Surya get the nade? That nade is not exploding yet. It does. It gets him. It knocks him out. And can he do this? Can Surya? Oh, but he does not manage to connect as much as he... And he gets a double knock. Oh my god, amazing gameplay from Surya, getting 2 players down. Fayaz, unfortunately, very late to the game. Fayaz needs to make the rotation quicker. This could have been an interesting fight for JSL, but as these teams are picking up their teammates, OP, 420 OP and Driver are back in. Oh, and Fayaz gets a knock. Oh my god, he goes for the drop shot, Final Boss, and mops up JSL. If Fayaz was actually nearby,
yeah, they could have done the whole thing around.
They could have won that one, yeah. It was just unfortunate and a mistake on Fayaz's part. But hey, it's not like JSL cares right now, because they are pretty much out of the semis. And now we're back on Orange Rock's Mavi. Orange Rock now has an angle on Zeref. He gets a couple of shots and manages to connect. Gets a couple more. He's managing to get Zeref to 50%. And he gets the knock finally. Mavi is back in form. Daljit going for a better angle. Going for the rotation. And let's see if he can... yep, he's already got the Kar 98. How does this man get a Kar 98 so quickly? Zeref in the smoke, knocked, and Mighty needs to figure out what to do here, as I'm sure Iki Mafia is quaking in their boots, having to deal with the push from Orange Rock. Anto gets ready with the nade, but there we go! Daljit gets the headshot on Iki Mafia's Pain. That's 2 players down. Anto throws the nade forward. Orange Rock going for the push. Here we go. Anto trying to get a pre-fire here and there, but Pain finally getting thirsted by Mavi.
And look at the position from Daljit. Both Mavi and him are using the cars to go around the other side. Orange Rock are surrounding them in every direction. And now they have no way out of this building. They're trapped. Anto thirsts one of the players of Vicky Mafia, and now it's all down to Zeref and Neonike. I don't think they are in a favorable situation. They need to heal each other, and they need to hold off this relentless onslaught as Zeref gets cornered and squished like a rat.
Yep, like
Neonike.
piranhas, Orange Rock just spraying, just going all over Team Mickey Mafia and just ruining them. Neonike has decided enough is enough, and he goes for the disengage. Orange Rock not going for the pursuit just yet. Now they're trying to look for where Neonike could be. They're looking for that last 4 player. I don't think they realize
he's already made his escape.
Yep, and it looks like the Mickey Mafia player is going to play it safe and disengage.
Yeah, he has no choice. I mean, hey, you know what? Actually, this is kind of smart over here. So you see, this is something Fayaz could have done for JSL also.
Yeah. I guess at this point it doesn't really matter. I mean, for JSL, they're just like, you know what?
For them it doesn't. But
let's just get this over with, and you know, I'm just at this point I have a feeling JSL is just having fun and you know, not really caring about placements or kills or anything like that. Now Neonike.
Yeah, but Neonike is still trying hard. Unfortunately, as he tries to escape from Orange Rock, he walks right into Godlike. That little hut saved him for just a bit, but do Godlike find him eventually? Or something even better, what if Orange Rock and Godlike start fighting each other? That's gonna be amazing.
Oh my god, and
Did Anto just fall?
Yes, Anto just fell. And as that smoke plume envelopes him and he gets rezzed, let's see if Godlike and Orange Rock get into a fight. But hey, we have Viru, who seems to be in the sights of Swag. Team Mega seem to have an idea that he's right there, and shots are being fired. Viru is on a bike, so he doesn't have too much of cover, but can he keep up his speed? He takes a chunk of damage. That's a lot of damage on Viru. And Viru just about making it. He's using the dunes of Miramar to like cover his ass as he escapes. He needs to get off now and first aid really badly. But what happened to Viru? Oh yeah, he's first aiding right now on the bike, not getting off. His teammates are right next to him.
Nice. Oh, do you think they'll go for the airdrop? We saw them see it. And there's a nice, delicious M249 up for grabs. Could be devastating in close quarter combat or just blowing up vehicles, which is a very important thing in Miramar. You see, guns like DP and M249 are devastating up against cars, and if you have them in a map like Miramar, which heavily relies on cars, you have a nice advantage for yourself.
Yeah. Well, it looks like 7Seas Esports is going for the drop, and that M249 and level 3 rig is definitely going to help Viru execute some suppressive fires on enemy teams. And the circle, again, a cruel mistress, has now enveloped Junkyard and Minas. So these teams will now have to go for another rotation, but at least 7Seas has the vehicles. So they don't really have to worry too much.
Pretty close to the circle too, so they can just move in right now, camp around these dunes. Surprisingly, these dunes at the end of the circle do offer quite a lot of cover, so they don't even need a compound at this point. They can just hang around here and they will be sorted. Oh,
interesting.
Here comes trouble.
Godlike's Gill getting a headshot knock on Frost, but Team Orange Rock now are privy to their position, and they are going to be waiting for Godlike to make a mistake. Orange Rock's Daljit and Vampire are keeping an angle, but no, they've decided that it's time to rotate into the circle as well as Orange Rock disengage.
Yeah, Orange Rock going for a safer approach all the way around these teams instead of right through them, obviously. Either way, they ignore this fight. They go for the long game. They want to take early positions, and yeah, now they have the information on both these teams, so they can just chill out, and they are right at top of Junkyard. Look at this. They have such a good view around this hill.
Yep. And all they have to do is just hold this hill as much as they can. They see a car moving and they spray them down. But it looks like 7Seas has now aggroed Godlike, and Godlike has taken one casualty. Viru putting the suppressive fire with the Car 98. What is Godlike going to do?
Oh, that shot actually connected onto him. He could have died right there. But never mind, he just managed to get healed up in the nick of time. And Godlike have a pretty good position over here. Look at this. They have a nice little compound at the edge of the cliff. They don't have the high ground per se, but they do have a definite advantage over Team 7Cs.
Oh, and it looks like the team that we've been hoping to win Miramar has now got the eyes of Orange Rock, which is probably not good for them. Mayhem,
Yeah, not the team you want to go up against now.
Yeah, you do not want to mess with Orange Rock at this point because Orange Rock are currently in form. Meanwhile, AM Gaming's Ip Man gets a knock on Final Boss and even thirsts him. So 7Cs Esports have just lost one of their best players.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But still, 7Cs is fine. It's really Mayhem that need to worry at this point. Viru trying to take shots at Team AIM. Ducky with the 8x and Viru with 6x. I guess we know who comes out on top as Ducky does land a nice headshot onto the level 3 helmet. But the level 3 obviously protects him against a one-tap knock. Ducky now engaging with Team Insane as well. Okay, then this is a bit dicey. He's engaging with
Oh my god!
That's never good, but he actually connects the shot. Tempest is down while we are busy looking at Godlike carry.
Did you
lap up that juicy MK14?
Did you just see that? Did you see the way Ducky was moving and repeaking? That was some amazing skills right there. Like all the upcoming PMCO challengers in the chat, take some notes from Ducky as he also tries to get a shot on Viru. He gets a couple of knocks in. He does manage to whittle Viru down to about 70%, but Viru is going for the long rotate around the edge of the blue. Not sure what Sensi's is planning here, but hopefully we'll have the map on the screen shortly and we will understand what they're doing.
Yeah, Team AIM, they are moving up on the road across it, and they have spotted Team Insane. Meanwhile, put all that aside, hold on. Celts are engaging with Team Mega and they've already blown one of their players up. At the same time, another fight is about to break out, and that's gonna be between Godlike and Orange Rock. A third fight between Team Insane and AIM. Wow, okay, that's the action's about to start right now. 3 different teams engaging with each other.
Yep,
Nope,
and
makes that 4. Genocide
4.
moving towards Mayhem.
Yeah. And finally, Exist going for the spray downs. Oh, and Orange Rock gets a knock on Frost, but Ducky going for the push on Insane. Sky has just been knocked. Ducky is now going to try to get an angle. Reloads his gun. Meanwhile, Orange Rock taking their famous canyon as usual, finishing off one player of Team Element. Insane tries to defend. He almost gets it, but gets knocked out by the AIM Gaming players. Meanwhile, Orange Rock have completely decimated ELMT Esports, and that is a fatality right there.
Fatality with the bouncing bombs, the grenade right in their faces, knocking them out. That's gonna keep TeamElves safe, at least for some time, who start engaging with M40 for the time being. Lifecraft step into the fray between them and 7Cs. Alright then. AIM Gaming, they have just bought themselves some time to move into the circle. They have one lone member of Team 10. I believe that is Iki Mafia, if I'm not wrong.
No, Iki Mafia, we do have one player remaining, yes, and that is him. But the teams that were eliminated were ELMT Esports and GSL.
Huh. So yeah, that is one lone player of Iki Mafia close to AIM Gaming as we saw them move in. Meanwhile, Godlike has the circle on AIM Gaming, so they're gonna gatekeep AIM. I just hope that Godlike disengage with Orange Rock before they finally start taking the fight with AIM. They don't want to be caught in between this very awkward situation.
Yep. Absolutely. And now all these teams are going to start rotating. Oh, but Ip Man takes that nade right at his feet, and AIM Gaming is going to want to end this fight as quickly as possible. They've had enough. They already have taken 2 players, but Ip Man is also taking action from far away, so they can't push as Godlike is putting suppressive fire on the AIM Gaming players. Ip Man gets ready with the nade. He cooks it, but does he get the nade? Oh, the nade just about misses Naruto, and Team Insane using the smoke plumes so that they don't have to deal with Godlike as well. I like how Godlike is keeping the pressure on these teams. Meanwhile, Avi gets a knock on Mayhem's Shadow. Probably not something that Mayhem wants to deal with right now. Oh my god, the Team Genocide getting an explosive kill on Mayhem's cloak. Mayhem is now down to 2 players, one knocked as well. And Daljit connecting with Neonax from such a far... Oh my god, the play zone has now eliminated Shadow as well. Zeus finishing off Tempest, and now Naruto as well. Team Insane. Oh, but Zeus gets knocked out in the trade by Team Genocide. Team Genocide is on fire. Look at them go.
I actually like this fight between Team Aim and Insane. They only lost one player where they could have lost many more. But the circle, look at the circle. It's devastating. We don't have it up on our screens right now, but it is massively down towards the south. And Godlike, Orange Rock, and Icky Mafia, Team Aim, all of them have to move into the circle, and none of them are already here.
Yeah, but Mega is still
fighting at the
there.
edges of the zone against Mega, and then they have to go in, and fight more against Team 9.
Well, 7 Seas Esports has just, I think, the one player remaining, if I'm not mistaken, and Team Genocide have the edge of the circle, and none of these teams are committing to the center just yet, except for Team 14. And Ash Gamer going for the spray down. He gets a lot of damage onto Duke, and he tries to go for the finish, but Mayhem gets eliminated, and Duke gets knocked as well by Team Genocide, and Team Genocide quickly finishing off TeamElves as well. We now have Aztecc. What is happening? Aim Gaming also getting eliminated by Team Genocide. Team Genocide quickly eliminating 2 teams, but getting traded by Elves.
Eliminated Aim. They had that one nade which blew most of them up.
Oh, I stand corrected. Anyway, Team Genocide still putting the pressure on Elves, Matt and Sneepu, and the beautiful nade from XDD. XDD in form from their Sanhok win, and finally eliminating Team Elves. Now Godlike going for the push on Team Aztecc. They take some heavy damage. Smokey is not looking healthy as Killsome tries to go for the third person B. He gets a couple of shots on Carry BDC. Carry pushes in, he gets a knock on Killsome, but he gets traded finally by the oh my god, this is happening so fast, Spidey. And finally it's RB not OP finishing off Team Godlike Smokey. It is up to Gil and Spidey and Exist. Godlike going in for the thirsts as quickly. Oh, but oh my god, RB not OP sneakily third person's in. It's now Exist and Spidey finishing him off. What a beautiful spray down between these two teams. Godlike eliminated in the blink of an eye. Aztecs only using Satan. Meanwhile, Icky Mafia eliminated.
Yeah, New Knife was the last remaining player for them, and he was found. At the same time, Team Genocide are wiping the floor with -40 as they have lost most of their players. -40 down to 2. Genocide also at 2. And at the same time, they keep taking fire from Lifecraft, who surprisingly has all 4 players alive. M40, they want to get rid of Team Genocide right here and now and move into the circle, which is already being guarded by Team Celts. Now, Orange Rock, Mavi, he's in the circle. Daljit close behind him. No, it's not Daljit, it's Anto. Now, they might have a circle on top of them, but they need to get rid of Celts if they want to, stay alive and stay safe. Orange Rock and Celts isolated, so nobody else will fight them at this point except for each other.
Absolutely. Orange Rock are just going to keep putting the pressure, the nades on Team Celts. Tanki, MJ and his teammates are dodging those nades, playing dance around them, but the play zone finally claims M40's Carnage, and Team Aztecs have now turned their eyes onto Team Genocide, getting a knock already. Team Genocide have 3 players remaining, and Aztecs have 3 players remaining as well. Let's see if Team Genocide can go for the Reds. Meanwhile, Team Cells on the screen right now trying to push Orange Rock. It's up to Anto and Mavi. Will they be able to defend this position? Crips?
Orange Rock, they just managed to move into the zone, and if they can take care of Celts, they should be fine. Meanwhile, on the other side of the road, we have Team Lifecraft and Aztec. They both are in the zone, but they're fighting it out with each other. Now, the battle for this side of the road begins. Aztecs and Lifecraft are completely neglecting the fact that Team 18 is also right behind them, but Team 18 is staying a little safer now. Genocide keeping a low profile. They don't want to lose their players in between this fight.
Well, Team 18 Genocide took some action from the M40 player before M40 died, so that's why they're healing and licking their wounds. But Orange Rock finally getting into the fight with Team Celts, and Aztec is helping Orange Rock, getting 2 knocks. RB not OP. This is the time for, oh my god, that 3K from RB not OP. He's on fire, and Team Celts eliminated by 1 player mostly, Beautiful.
Kill.
Anto getting the finish on Atanki, and Orange Rock still pretty much in the fight with a lot of help from Team Aztec. Lifecraft dealing with so many nades from Aztecs. Aztecs are really holding their own, holding that central position, just raining hellfire from all directions. And now Lifecraft going for Team Genocide.
There's an AWM in the middle of this mix. How on earth? How on earth is anybody gonna get that? Ash Gamer, he does manage to knock out one of the players of Lifecraft, but Aztec is gonna put him out of his misery instead. And Aztec do thank him for revealing the position of Genocide and making them vulnerable to even more nades. Meanwhile, Orange Rock continue to chill. Nobody's even looking at them, and the circle's upon them. Orange Rock just need to find cover, and everyone will come feeding to them. XDD barely staying alive after this barrage of grenades leave him as the last survivor of his team. Meanwhile, Lifecraft have a nice little ditch, which is gonna get molotoved. Surprisingly, it doesn't connect, so they aren't out of the game yet. Aztec, though, they have a massive advantage at this point, and so do Orange Rock. But I hope Orange Rock, for their own sake, stop fighting at this point and just let Lifecraft, Aztec, Genocide finish each other off. Just try to steal kills, I guess.
Well, Aztec definitely need this. They need the points, and RB not OP making sure that his team gets the points. What a beautiful knock. They have the circle. Well, not anymore. It looks like Orange Rock now have the circle. And now Team Aztec need to quickly finish off Genocide. XDD goes for the push, gets the... Oh, but Killsome finishes him off, and Team Genocide is finally eliminated. Aztecs now need to deal with Lifecraft and Orange Rock. Orange Rock, Anto, and Mavi get ready for the eventual push. They're throwing the mollies, but Spidey is already in a vehicle. Anto hears the vehicle, fires a couple of shots, but does not connect just yet. And Spidey blowing up the vehicle to create some precious cover for him. Right now, Lifecraft just getting caught out in the open by... Oh my god, by RB not OP, but Anto gets the trade on RB, and Team Aztec have one man down.
Yeah, but they have one man far away from them as well. I don't care if they have one man down, as long as they manage to get to Spidey, who has just bought them this crucial real estate, they should be fine. But Killsome cannot cross the road without RB not OP. Anto, he's down, so that just gives Aztecs a little bit of time to move in, because Orange Rock is busy healing. At the same time, Lifecraft are crawling their way in. I think they might be in the zone already. They have a little tree for cover, but Spidey can't flank them. It's Killsome. He knocks out Clowny. And this little buggy, how long is it going to keep protecting them? Orange Rock are getting greedy. We already see them trying to move in, trying to steal those points. Anto peeks, but Spidey, he will die. Anto knocks him out as well, and now Aztecs is in trouble. They've lost too many players in this rotation. Killsome gets knocked out by Lifecraft, and they're falling like flies. Aztecs, they just have one man remaining, and Lifecraft needs to seize this opportunity. They need to move in closer, but they're not moving in, not fast enough. They're crawling. Is that going to be enough, though? I don't think so. The next one is the 9th circle, which means it shrinks to 0. And whatever advantage any of these teams had has been completely destroyed, as they have to go in for the kills. Mavi moving in towards Spidey, and he manages to finish him off. Killsome and RB not OP can't do damn about it. Lifecraft do have a man advantage, and they to use it to their advantage. They get the knock onto RB, and it's only down to Killsome. He needs to stay alive somehow. He cannot save his teammate as he gets thirsted. Killsome gets dead. Oh, Aztecs are eliminated, and Orange Rock takes this opportunity. They knock out Exotic. How will this happen? Will Orange Rock be able to convert this? Rohin.
Yeah, Orange Rock is on fire, and they do convert it. What a beautiful play by Orange Rock. They picked the right amount of fights. Anto with the 7k on the screen right now. Amazing form from the Orange Rock players. After that Erangel win right there, they are back in Miramar. And unfortunately, Mayhem did not get the points that they needed. So Aztecs are going to move up in the standings and secure their positions in the top 16 standings.
Oh yeah, Aztecs desperately needed that, didn't they? Lifecraft was still safe, so even if they didn't win, it's fine. They don't need to win. Aztec desperately needed that. And the fact that they were in... what do I say? They were in a situation where they could have crossed the road when they had the chance. They just needed one smoke to cover them because Spidey had already created room for them by moving in that car over there. They just needed to follow him, but they couldn't. And that's exactly what leads to that downfall.
Well, you know what? Aztecs, come on, man. I think it'd be a little harsh on them because like Team Genocide is something that they had to deal with. They had to deal with Livecraft. They dealt with Team Cells. They took so many team fights. I mean, hats off to them. Like that was an amazing performance. They're gonna get like about 20 points in that game, and that 20 points is a lot. And they're definitely going to be jumping up in the standings thanks to that amazing gameplay from them.
At the same time, I have to appreciate Aztecs. I mean, sure, they were not able to capitalize on whatever Spidey did, but you can't ignore the fact that whatever Spidey did was incredibly ballsy, incredibly difficult, and incredibly necessary. So,
you know what?
I did get half of it right.
I do think Spidey made a mistake when they did get the first knock on one of the Orange Rock players. I believe it was Anto. He should have pushed. I mean, he had his teammates behind him. He should have pushed and taken out Orange Rock as quickly as possible. I mean, he might have had the information. Maybe the smokes did not give him all the information. He wasn't sure how many players were there. But if he knew that there were 2 players, I think he might have gone for the push. But anyway, we've got the top 5 players on the screen right now. Anto on fire with 7 kills. And we've got
500 damage.
But only 500 damage. Anto got all those beautiful Team Cells kills. So none of those kills actually went to Team Aztec, surprisingly. And Spidey getting 5k, of course. Amazing gameplay from Spidey. But let's not forget RB not OB. He was even though he had just 3 kills, he was the knockout champion of Miramar. Orange Rock Mavi coming in 3rd place with 4 kills. As usual, Mavi playing consistently well. Orange Rock maintaining their consistency. And Team Genocide's XDD, what happened to him today? Did he's just like taken the form of Ma Kali and he's been spraying down people left, right and center. He is on fire. We saw some excellent gameplay from him in Sanhok, and now he is in Miramar with 4 kills. So that 938 damage is astounding. But Mavi, of course, doing the highest amount of damage, 1013 damage. So yeah, a lot of damage from these players and a lot of kills from Anto as well.
Yeah, and now after the game of Miramar is over, let's take a look at which team is on top. Obviously, it's Orange Rock, 15 kills?
Yes.
My God. That is...
Yep, that's one of the highest. That's one of the highest kills that we've seen in the semifinals as well. I think the highest being 17 kills from Marcos. But Orange Rock, 35 points. That's going to... I mean, it's not points that they really need, but the points that Aztecs really needs, those 20 points, is definitely great for them. And they're going to move up in the standings. They're going to move away from the danger zone into the safe zone of the finals. We've got also Livecraft getting 20 points, which is something that they definitely needed. And Team Genocide, I mean, they did win Sanhok, so they are already in a comfortable position, but those 16 points are not going to hurt them.
Definitely not. Cells, they tried hard. They tried really hard. They got plenty of placement points, but they were in such a bad place where they were fired upon by many teams. So it's fine if they didn't make it in this one. Godlike, though. After getting the San Martin drop and after being in the zone for quite a bit, they picked up a fight with Orange Rock and they did manage to kill 2 of their players.
Yeah.
But even then, Godlike in the rotation phase, they were so busy fighting, they could never rotate in time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure what happened to Godlike. They did take multiple fights. They were harassing AIM Gaming. They were harassing Team Genocide. 7Cs as well. Yeah, so they did a lot of harassing, but they did not manage to convert it to kills. They got a couple of knocks here and there. And I think they may have wasted too much of time, but the circle was also clearly king. We had so many circle rotations which favored certain teams and then put them in the worst possible position moments later. So it was a very finicky and difficult circle for a lot of these teams.
I agree. I actually like the rotation that Aztecs did, and I do want to speak about it a bit more, but I will hold on to that thought until after the overall standings. Marcos Gaming at 248. Yeah, of course. I mean, what else would you even expect? But Orange Rock, they are closing the difference. They are at 214 points. One more game left. They probably won't be able to overtake Marcos, but they can definitely cement their place up on second. 7Cs, they went down a bit.
Yes.
Well, not a surprise because they went out in the 8th place in Miramar. Elements met the same fate as well. Megastars, though, I don't really want to talk about them because they, I don't know, those early fights they took was a bit of a hassle for them, and It doesn't change the overall standings, but it's still fine. UMExRxN didn't play, Fnatic didn't play today, so that doesn't even matter. Lifecraft though, I actually liked whatever they did this game. They played it to perfection. They were really patient, and yeah, that's exactly what got them a second place.
Lifecraft took so many nades from Aztecs. Honestly speaking, like I'm surprised they stayed alive for so long. Even Team Genocide, like Aztecs had Team Genocide and Lifecraft sort of pinned down. So like Team Genocide still managing to come in 10th place, like moving up a little bit. Good for them. They did have the Sanhok win last match in the second match of today. So they have 2 chicken dinners to their name and 60 kills. But Cells, of course, consistent performance from them. Not too great, not too bad. They're comfortable in the 12th place position. But Aztecs, those kills have obviously cemented their position in Team 16. Position 16 with 119 points. But they're not out of the danger zone yet because Mayhem can still come back in the final match of Erangel. And then it is 119 points to Aztecs and 98 points to Mayhem. So Mayhem can still catch up if they win a chicken dinner. So
yeah, Mayhem needs a chicken dinner to get up there. And so does Team Ecstasy. So it's chicken dinner or nothing for Mayhem. The stakes are higher than they have ever been before. Same goes with Ikimaf. I mean, I think Ikimaf needs a bit too many points. They need like, what, 25 something points in order to get there. So that's a bit tough. But Mayhem still can if they go absolutely berserk in Erangel once again.
Yeah.
Although the road, the journey for TeamElves, minus 40, full power, etc. is pretty much over here.
Well, AIM Gaming, Ikimafia, and Mayhem, if any of these teams get eliminated early on and one of these teams wins a chicken dinner, they will secure their position in the top 16. Well, the same thing goes for Aztecs as well. So these 4 teams, there's a lot of pressure on their last match. And depending on how these teams perform in the last match, they will make it to the finals or they will get relegated.
Team Ecstasy is pretty much out. They've played all their games. All 16 are done. They're not even playing today, so yeah, they're not making it.
Yep.
But maybe Ikimafia stands a chance if they manage to overtake them and they manage to overtake Mayhem as well.
Well, let's see what happens in the next match of Erangels. So don't go anywhere because we have a very exciting 4th match. There's a lot riding on these 4 teams. Mayhem, Ikimafia, AIM Gaming, and Aztecs. And it's going to be a lot of fun, so don't go anywhere. All these early game fights are going to be as important as the late game fights for all 4 of these teams. And this is PC Presence Gaming, and we also have Crips here. We'll see you guys in the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, gamers and non-gamers, pros and noobs, welcome back to the final day of the semi-finals. This is the PMCO 2020 Spring Split. I am PC Peasants Gaming and I have my co-caster here with me, Crips, all the way from Mumbai.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the last match of the last day of the semi-finals. On your screen are K18 and Krat, two lovely Hindi desk-casters, while we sit in the comfort of our studios and do it from our respective cities. And these teams are sitting in their respective houses or boot camps or wherever, and desperately trying to clamber up the steep ladder of these overall rankings, where 8 teams will bite the dust today, and they will be eliminated. The journey in PMCO will come to an end. Meanwhile, the top 24 will advance to the finals. Well, not the top 24, only the top 16 will advance to the finals, my bad. But yeah, you get the gist.
Yeah, I do get the gist. Thank you. But yeah, we have a couple of teams that are kind of in the battle for the 16th position right now. Let's forget about the top teams for a second. We've got Mayhem, we've got Iki Mafia, we've got AIM Gaming, and we've got Aztecc. Now, Aztecc is in the 16th position, Mayhem is in the 17th position, and Iki Mafia and AIM Gaming are about 19th, 20th. So these teams are one chicken dinner away from making it to the finals, and so there's a lot of pressure on them because this is the last match. And if these teams do not perform, if any of these teams get eliminated early on, it helps the other 3 teams into having a better chance of making it to the finals. So there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of action going to happen, and we finally have the playing path on the screen. It is the last match of the day. It is Erangel, and Crips will take it away with the team drops.
Wow, I have to say, very first thing, this is a weird playing path. Look at it. It starts halfway through Sosnovka, and then it goes towards Lipovka, which means all the good spots, hospitals, ruins, Gatka, Georgepol, Sverny, Zarki, etc., they're all inaccessible. You're going to have to make a mad dash, get some cars in order to get there. Teams like, Team Mega, who definitely like dropping Nova, is going to be happy with this one.
Yes.
Then Team Godlike, who go towards Pachinki, also will be happy.
Yep.
Maybe Team Mayhem can make it to Primos, but I don't think they're heading over there. In fact, Mayhem is going to go somewhere else today.
Yeah, I think JSL is also going to be dropping at Pachinki. So it's round 3 between JSL and Godlike at Pachinki. I do believe it is 2-1 because the second matchup in Pachinki, I do believe Godlike they did disengage. So I'm going to give that point to JSL. So it is 2-1 in Pachinki, JSL versus Godlike. Let's see what happens. But the Orange Rock guys are also moving across. Nope, Orange Rock will obviously drop at Watertown. We have Lifecraft as usual going to Yasnaya with their best buddies, Iki Mafia. But 7Seas Esports is right now in melee with Team Genocide. Shots are being fired as 7Seas have taken up the Doms. Team Genocide has taken up the Doms side of melee. And Viru is now heading towards 7-star. He might get an angle on the Team Genocide players. Ooh, but Exis gets the first knock on Ruthless. We have...
3-team Pachinki fight.
There we go. It's not just JSL, but Robin God gets the knock and gets traded by Smokey as well. Exis is knocked, but pretty much in the game still. We have 2 players knocked right now, one from Godlike, one from JSL. Smokey going for the rotate and going for the thirst, most likely. Yep, he's going for the thirst. No, but he gets a little bit delayed by Phobia, JSL's newest player.
Yeah, JSL have changed things up a bit, and they want to come out on top of this fight. They have fought with Godlike in the past, but M40 landing here is a whole different beast. Robin God bites the dust. Smokey finishes him off. What does Phobia do in this situation? He's been thrown into such an uncomfortable spot in his very first game in PMCO. Has Phobia played for JSL before? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, I do believe this is the first time I'm seeing him, but I could be wrong. And meanwhile, Cronton in the house. Looks like Godlike is not taking any chances as the live streamer Cronton himself is right now on the map. Things are starting to look good for Godlike. They've already got the first knock. They got a little bit of damage and they get Phobia Phobia is not going to be happy. This is probably one of his first games, I think, and he's already knocked.
Godlike Gil, the perfect flank. He almost gets Surya, and it doesn't even matter. He never needed to land that shot, but he now has done so much more damage than he could have possibly hoped for. Surya has a shotgun. It has the potential to one-shot eliminate somebody, but he needs to connect it. And Gil has the same weapon as well. The shotgun of Gil connects, and Surya is down. Now Fiaz, he's all alone in that little house, holding the stairs for himself. He was going for the thirst. He almost gets it, but Gil is here for the rescue, and Fiaz is trapped. He ran out of bullets at the first possible time, and JSL is out of the game.
Alright, so it's a 2-2 for Godlike and JSL for Pochinki. For those of you keeping up the score, but Cronton, what an aggressive player. Like, I'm finally seeing Cronton in his element in the semifinals, and I do believe they brought out Cronton for the first time in the semis, so it's nice to see him push, but Nexus OP takes that nade.
No.
And Nexus hears the pin, and he goes for the spray down and gets Nexus OP while he was still switching weapons, and that is it for Nexus OP. It is now Carnage remaining.
Yeah, but at least he managed to get the knock onto Cronton. I don't think it matters that much, but maybe if Rival can come in, maybe Rival can finish off Cronton. Oh no, he's paused. He has to heal himself first. Otherwise, he could have completely gotten rid of Cronton right there. That's unfortunate. That's going to buy him some time. But here comes Smokey Gil. He hears another nade go nearby. He tries to jump out, but he's reviving his teammate now. Rival takes this chance. No, he's not going for the right house. He's going to take fight with Smokey. That's not the right house. You're not knocking on the right doors. He could have caught both of them off guard, and Smokey would have been able to do nothing about it, but Rival engages. He almost gets Smokey, but Gil finishes him off as well. Both of them team up actually over here. Gil and Smokey.
And Godlike, the gods of Pochinki, it's now Carnage remaining for M40, and it's pretty much hopeless right now for M40, as they will be relegated, and they will not make it to the finals, but we are now watching Critic. We're observing Critic from Team Genocide at Millie, and the observer needs to make up his mind.
Yeah, Carnage is safe. It's easy to hide when there's only like one person remaining on the team, especially in a town like Pochinki. You can go in, out, run around corners, juke them. Yeah, juking is... Wow, I don't think we've ever used the word juke in this entire tournament, have we? It's such an important concept.
I think we have. I mean, there's a team player called Duke in Elves. So
not Duke. Just the art of juking. Have you seen those Dota videos where people just lose their opponents as they go in and around the little crooks and crannies of these houses?
So, I haven't played Dota in a bunch of years, and I don't think I want to ever get back into that game. It took too much of my time. All about the PUBG Mobile right now, and Carnage is the last man standing as he's quaking in his boots, not trying to telegraph his position. Meanwhile, we're back in military with Critic and his teammates. XDD, unfortunately, has bit the dust. They are at a one-man disadvantage here, and I do wonder where 7C's Esports has gone.
Yeah, they just rotated right the hell out of there. It seems like 7Cs want to go for the oldie rotation, maybe because they want a bridge camp or something. We'll see where they are when the next circle pops up. And if I'm not wrong, they probably might just go for the bridge camp or something.
But Mayhem,
go in towards Milta.
We have Mayhem on the screen right now, and I gotta say, Mayhem has taken a very central position. We don't know where the circle is just yet. We see a little sliver of it on the radar, but hopefully we'll see the map soon. Team Genocide has decided to take up this location here near a gas station, and they're probably going to try to bridge camp, but knowing 7C's Esports, they will take the eastern bridge like they generally do.
Yeah, they took the eastern bridge. So yeah, Genocide is out of danger. I guess only Mega is the only thing that is still out of the zone. No, wait, Mega doesn't need to move right now. Last I remember, Nova was in the zone, so Mega can peacefully loot up, and they'll rotate in the second circle. So maybe that's when the bridge camp will be relevant. But even then, there's a very less chance that might actually happen.
Absolutely. And now Team Cells, of course, in 10th position, if I'm not mistaken. They don't really have to worry about too much. They just need to make sure that they get enough frags that they can, maintain their standings in the overall standings. But the pressure is on Aztecs, Mayhem, Aim Gaming, and who the fourth again?
JSL and
No,
M40 were the fourth few ones, but they're already out. So
No, not JSL and M40. It was Aztecc, Mayhem, Aim Gaming, and I want to say Team Ecstasy, but they're not playing today. My memory fails me.
yeah, I mean, you got me confused here as well.
Yeah.
Either way.
Anyway, it's the fight for position 16, essentially, what I'm trying to talk about here. So here we go. We've got Aztecc on the screen right now. Iki Mafia. There we go. That was the fourth team. And let's see if Aztecc actually eliminate Iki Mafia. If they do, they do secure their position a little bit for position 16. And the circle has changed again. And it is favoring the eastern front, with Aztecc and Mayhem firmly in the center of the circle, even Iki Mafia. So all these teams which are under a lot of pressure, at least have the circle going for them.
Yeah. Orange Rock and Watertown can easily move in towards Rozok. They will be uncontested over there. Aim Gaming will be hot on their heels, but that's a fight for another day. For now, we did see Cells. No, not Cells. It was Aztecc that engaged with Iki Mafia for a bit. But that's not the problem. Iki Mafia have made their way out of that place. They were just passing by. Mayhem heard those shots, and now Mayhem knows where Aztecc is. Do we see these two teams fight, though? There's quite a lot of distance in between their compounds.
They need not fight because, I mean, Mayhem has the warehouse, which isn't a very secure location. There are multiple points of entry for that warehouse, but Aztecc, if they have the loot, they are not going to pick a fight. They're going to play as defensive as possible because right now they just need to worry about the circle. Meanwhile, Smoky OP of Godlike finally rooting out that last player of -40 and eliminates him, Carnage. So yep, -40 is pretty much out of the tournament right now, and they will not be making it to the finals.
Yeah, that's the end of the road for them right there, and the end of the road for JSL as well. Two of the teams who did reasonably well in the group stage, but suffered quite a lot in semifinals, and they suffered in this map as well, which means that's pretty much the end. Now, the reason I wanted Mayhem to fight Aztecc was because Mayhem needs points, but if they take the fight, they're going to be the ones who are aggressing, so they are at the risk of losing. So is it a risk they want to take? I guess not now.
So Ash Gamer from Team Genocide volleys a couple of shots at the 7 Seas players, but does not commit to the fight. Final boss 420 in Erangel. The 7 Seas Esports now move to the Fnatic houses and drive by. Yeah, I'm calling them the Fnatic houses. Just deal with it.
We named it just a couple of days ago, right? And I almost forgot that we named it. Wait, this is not the Fnatic house. This is the Orange Rock house. The Fnatic houses were the one at the south of the zone where they usually land.
No, in fact, they do land in the double warehouses, the compound that I just called, and the outskirts of farm. So that's
so they're all Fnatic houses right now.
Pretty much, that's like the Fnatic, Nagar, as we Indians say.
Fnatic Nagar, okay.
It's but speaking of Fnatic, I had a conversation with Fnatic's coach today, and I was asking him, hey, what's happening? Why was Scout OP not playing? And actually, Scout OP had booked his tickets a long time back to Indonesia. So and they were not aware of the PMCO dates, and it was just too expensive for them to cancel their tickets. To cancel Scout's tickets. So Scout pretty much just went on his little holiday, came back, and rained hellfire for his team in the last couple of matches for Fnatic. So that's actually why he was not there. It was just a misunderstanding between the org and the tournament organizers.
So he booked his tickets before the PMCO dates were announced. Fair enough, I guess. Either way, the circle is not fair. Look at it. It's down south. All the teams who were once at a risk of getting, nulled out of the zone because the bridge was really bad, now they are in an advantage once again. Elves, what a drive-by. Cronton and his company are decimating everyone with machine guns and cars. Matt is wide in the open. There's nobody to save him. Elves are up on the hill. They are trying to keep Godlike suppressed. hoping that they don't peek and finish off their fallen teammate, but I don't think they're going to be able to save him anytime soon.
Yep, Godlike is going to use this opportunity to get a strategic position in farm.
Wait, did Matt just get revived? Oh no,
And
wait, what?
Avi
fell?
Oh my god, TeamElves is making mistakes left, right, and center. They did manage to pick up Matt, but they got... Avi decided to jump out of his vehicle for some reason. I'm not really sure what happened there. But Godlike's Cronton sees Orange Rock's Anto drive by, but does not take the shots. Just takes some notes for his teammates. Opens that door, exits, tries to see if Orange Rock sets up shop there, and then they will worry about them later.
Yeah. Aztecs have a lot to worry about. They've got the compound for themselves, and Aztecs has been here for quite some time, but Team Icky Mafia just arrived inside that Harry Potter house. Now, the one thing about it is, it's a very small one. You lob one grenade in there, and you should be able to get multiple people jumping out, or you should be able to knock them out. Either way, seems like Icky Mafia are aware about Aztec, and they are already jumping out of this house. They want to take those fights, and they want to rush in.
Okay, here we go. We've got Icky Mafia and Team Aztecs. These two teams very close to relegation. Whichever team gets eliminated first inches a step closer to getting eliminated from the PMCO tournament. So, but Icky Mafia decides it's not worth it, and they try to... Are they going for the push?
Oh yes, they're trying to circle them from the other side. 2 members uphill in the Harry Potter house and 2 members downstairs in the jeeps. Mighty and Neonike have arrived at the crime scene, and this is about to turn into a bloodbath. Satan, this is a very smart position outside the balcony. Nobody will expect this. Nobody can third-person peek him from this side, but that does leave him a little vulnerable if anyone, sees him from the other side. But that's not the problem. Neonike, he is lobbed out. Perfect nade onto him, and Satan now knows exactly what to do. He should be able to thirst Neonike as well. I don't think Mighty will be able to save him.
What a nutty nade
to back him up.
Absolutely, what a nutty nade from Spidey right there. Neonike is going to be feeling pretty stupid about that. And Icky Mafia one step closer to getting eliminated from the tournaments. Guys, the pressure is on for both these teams. If Zerif and his teammates don't rotate, if Pain doesn't rotate either, it's going to be really bad. Oh, but RBOP... Oh my god, RBOP didn't even change his crossing. He continued spraying in the same direction. And the Icky Mafia player just walked into his spray down. What a amazing stroke of luck right there. And Icky Mafia is down to 2 players. It's up to...
they're down to 1.
Down to 1 player. Never mind. It's Pain, and pretty much this is it for Icky Mafia. Pain needs to cut his losses and get out of there. But we're now watching Cells and Mega fight it out.
Yeah, and this is at the edges of Milta. Oh, this is interesting. There's just like 1 or 2 houses with barely any cover left. Elves should be able to keep them when the next circle pops. But that's not the problem right now, isn't it? Cells, they should be pretty safe over here. The only problem they will face is that one lone member who's on the other side of the road of Malta. And that is... Who is that? I didn't get a look at him. Yeah, that's TeamElves.
Yep. Red trying to spray them down and harass them with the VSS. The nades fly from Duke, from TeamElves as well. And this is a lot of action that TeamElves is taking from multiple fronts.
Yeah.
But I can't get that. I can't get that Icky Mafia push out of my head. Like, what were they thinking? What was the idea? All they had to do is play for position points and maybe make it to the last circuit and then get a couple of kills. But they just rushed in and died.
Yeah, I mean, they rushed in a pretty good way, but it didn't pay off. It all depends on how you execute it. And speaking of executions, Matt has been executed down to the ground. And now this will leave him very, very vulnerable. Look at him. He's being raced in the open. Has just barely a little cover from the car. Meanwhile, Mayhem, they are crashing the compound of Godlike. And here comes the cavalry. They arrive in jeeps, using the third person to their advantage. But they take a couple of shots from Team Insane. Mayhem is like, get out of here. We lob a smoke so we can lock them out of the action. But Nova has been killed already. Wait.
Yeah, by Team Insane.
Mayhem.
Yeah, and Team Insane chiming in, and this is not good for Mayhem as well. Another team that really desperately needs these points, and the explosive kill from Exist. Shadow is immediately eliminated, and it is down to Cloak and Believe. Will these 2 players clutch it for their team and make Mayhem's position in the top 16 It is there's a lot of pressure right now on these two players, and Godlike is just defending farm from so many different angles. They have to worry about Orange Rock to the south, they have to worry about Team Insane to the far west, and then they have Cloak and Belief from Mayhem right in their neighborhood.
But Godlike, they're safe behind those blue little containers there. More than that, I think Mayhem have just bought themselves some time. They have a couple of smokes. And as long as Godlike is distracted, they should be able to survive right under their noses. Look at them. They're safe in between the blue containers. They have the third-person advantage over here. Either way, 70s are now in danger. Team Mega initiated upon them. The circle's about to change. And a lot of teams are on the edges. What's going to happen?
Yep, we've got Cells, Ultron.
Oh,
but the circle favors TeamElves and TeamElements. So all Elements have to do now is take the compound back from TeamElves. Exists meanwhile also at the edge of the circle, but there's not going to be much cover as they rotate into the circle. So let's see what Godlike has in store. They get into their vehicles and they're probably going to set up a fortress of cars, as you like to say, in the circle somewhere.
Even Orange Rock has plenty of cars. They're also going to set up a fortress. So it's Orange Rock versus Godlike versus Mayhem over there. But Mayhem already loses one player more. Aztec, meanwhile, start fighting with Team Elements. And they have now crashed into the road. They are using these little cover. Bunch of tool booths. That's it. That's all they have for cover. And here comes RB0OP right in the center of the road. He, with his micro Uzi, does plenty of damage to Frost, but gets knocked out eventually. The AK reigns supreme. Here comes another piece of utility. Will it do any damage? Nope, it will not. It's just a bit too far. But the smoke should allow him to move in a little bit closer. Kills him. Cooking his nade. Does he connect it? He times it perfectly. And no, it doesn't do anything. Meanwhile, Frost, he finishes off Aztec RB0OP. Kills him and Spidey, both locked on the other side of the road. The nades are not doing anything. Meanwhile, Elves, they are happy in their little compound. Ultron gets thirsted as he tries to join his teammates on the other side of the road. Meanwhile, Sky, look at him. He's getting into the car and Aztecs catch him. He was hoping he should be able to get away because of these two teams being distracted, but no, that's not going to happen. Elves now direct their attention and Aztecs in a lot of trouble. Kills them down and thirsted. Oh, and they're out. Elves, the moment it is out to focus on the other side of the house, they completely eliminate a team. And now even Lifecraft is in trouble. So is Team Genocide.
Absolutely.
In gaming, where even were they as they completely decimated by Team Cells and 7Cs.
Alright, so Aztec is out, Icky Mafia is out, so we don't know who's making it to the 16th position. Orange Rock's Mavi, of course, they don't really need it. And Mayhem getting eliminated at the 10th position. The jury is out on which teams are actually going to make it finally to the finals. What was the fourth team that was remaining? It was Icky Mafia, Aztecs. Of course, Aztecs just got eliminated. Icky Mafia. Okay, never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Let's just forget about it. Let's just leave it for the post game.
Yeah.
For now, look at this. Godlike, they seem to have found a compound. That's nice for them. Meanwhile, Elves continue to fire upon Team Insane as both of them blow up. Legend and Naruto down to the ashes, burnt to a crisp. And these teams are racking up a lot of kills for themselves. Element, they only need to deal with TeamElves, and that's not right now. They can leave this fight for later on when the circle pops.
Well, TeamElves now do not have the circle, and the circle is wide out in the open. So it is going to be a heel-off push from a lot of these teams as they fight the edges and make their way into the circle. But never mind, Godlike is quickly taking the edge and pushing Lifecraft, doing a lot of damage to Exotic. But Gil now needs to worry about Orange Rock, and Gil gets knocked out by Orange Rock's Anto. Oh my god, Orange Rock finally chiming in as both these players, Daljit and Anto, try to push their way into Godlike. Daljit getting another knock on Exist. That's two players knocked. It is up to Cronton and Smokey to retaliate on the Orange Rock players. Let us see what the streamer has in store for these players of Orange Rock. He's going for the res on Exist. Anto gets ready with the nades. Oh, the nades are going to fall, and if Cronton is not lucky, that nade is going to hurt him. But the nade just about misses him, and Smokey is playing the what is it? The northern position.
Rear guard.
The rear guard. That's the word. There we go.
Elves, they roll down the hills in their cars and they're about to storm into Team Lifecraft. Exotic already downed. No, he was down by Ripu. Oh, that's amazing. Even Ripu is down now. Celts MJ got him. So this is turned into a 3-way battle. It's all up to Avi as he's the last man standing for his team. He's trying to revive his teammates, but he doesn't even have the cover of smoke. He has to be careful about Team Celts and TeamElves pushing him down. Meanwhile, things got a little easier for Team Godlike as final boss from 7 Seas tries to engage with Team Orange Rock. Daljit is the last man standing. Final boss. He's trying to go for the drop shots, but Daljit, does he manage to make it in? Nope, it's not gonna happen.
Nope.
Lifecraft, they eliminate Elves.
Oh, but final boss is going for the push and he tries his best. He gets a knock, but we're not really sure what's happening here. Godlike is also peppering down Orange Rock, but Crompton finishes our final boss and Daljit is the last man standing for Orange Rock. It is Daljit versus the rest of the Godlike team, and Exist wants to take that hill, so they're going to push Daljit. All four push. Crompton gets knocked again. Gil gets knocked as well, but Orange Rock is eliminated, and this is, I think, Crompton's third knock, so he's going to be needing a quick revive. Crompton, Gil,
maybe even new armor.
All these players are back in, and Lifecraft still chiming in. All 4 players, but Clowny gets knocked by Mega's Paradox. All 4 players of Mega now fighting Godlike. They're getting in. They get a knock on Smokey as well, and Godlike need to worry about Team Mega.
Yeah, somehow Mega. This is their literal first kill. That kill onto Atanki was their second, and that's it. They have been silent the entire game, and now they're starting to make all the noise in the world, and they have all 4 of their players alive as well. This might just be a massive game for them. But look at Lifecraft. They already have 10 points in the bag, and all 4 of their players alive.
We have 3 teams.
Lifecraft, 3 teams, and everyone is everyone live. It's just all 3 teams have one player knocked each, but that thing will change as Lifecraft lose 2 more. Godlike really turning up the heat over there as Exist. He's going around the edges of the circle to keep a tab onto Team Lifecraft. Meanwhile, his teammates continue to guard Team Mega on the edge of that cliff. The circle, it does favor Lifecraft a little bit. Godlike too, but Mega has been heavily screwed. They're out in the open, and they have to make it a long way in. There's barely any cover. Even the cars are backed up. They can't even move in the cars.
Right now, Mega needs to push Godlike from the left, and that's exactly what they're doing. But Godlike is getting into their vehicles, and they're going for the rotation. But Crompton gets knocked for the 4th time as Vexy and his teammates push forward. They are now going to put the pressure on Godlike, and Godlike now needs to worry because they're getting into a sandwich situation. Even Lifecraft is pushing towards Godlike, trying to give them a lot of aggression from the north, and Vexy thirsts Crompton. Godlike in the worst position right now. They're sandwiched in a kill sandwich between. Oh my god, here we go. Vexy gets to knock on Exist, and they are finishing off Godlike left. Oh my god, Smokey also knocked, but Lifecraft chiming in. They heard the Mega players, and they go for multiple knocks. Villain and his Clowny all on fire. They eliminate Megastars in a spray down. Megastars had no idea that they would get eliminated so quickly, and it's Gil, last man standing for his team. He gets a knock on Clowny. Can he do this for his team? Exotic is also pretty low, and he's going for the revive on Smokey. He's also dropping a couple of heals.
This might just work. Lifecraft are also busy reviving their own players. And if he gets Smokey up, this might just be perfect. He blows up Exotic. Oh, this is perfect. It's a 2v2. The odds have been nullified. The odds are even now. And this is anybody's game at this point.
Absolutely. Now it's Godlike versus but Villain, what a beautiful spray down, getting Smokey OP knocked out with a cheeky snake spray. Gil cannot help his teammate, but Smokey will probably try to give his teammate as much intel as possible. He does, but it doesn't help that much, and Godlike, despite an amazing stand from them, gets eliminated. Lifecraft coming in first place with 35 points, and Godlike coming in second place with 30 points, and Megastars, of course, coming in third with 15 points.
Yeah, Megastars did pretty well. Unfortunately, they were caught in that little road fire, and in between TeamElves, Orange Rock, and everyone. So, did Mega need a lot of points? Yes, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did, but I mean, they're currently safe. We really need to worry about Mayhem, AIM Gaming, Iki Mafia, and Aztecc. Iki Mafia, of course, was the first to get knocked, but Mayhem and the other team have I mean, they just followed. So it looks like Aztec's survived the longest and might just retain their position 16, which means Mayhem will get eliminated. Maybe. Ikimafia definitely will get eliminated, and AIM Gaming, I'm not sure what happened to them, but I think they got eliminated pretty early on as well.
Well, I love the push from Mega over there. This team, they held their ground all the way up until last and then struck at the time when everyone was vulnerable. Unfortunately, it is Lifecraft and some brilliant plays from Clowny with 7 kills who carried his team to victory.
Absolutely. Lifecraft always on the last day of the group stages, of the semis. These boys, under pressure, they step up. I'm not sure what they do on the last day, what their exercises, their mental games are, what their prep is, but whatever it is, it seems to be working. And if they can bring some of that magic to the finals, then hey, Lifecraft might have a chance to make it at least to a top 3 situation.
Oh, definitely. Lifecraft is really, really amping up their firepower. And if they keep performing this way in the finals, I think a lot of teams will have to start considering them as a serious threat.
Alright, can we have enough of the Hindi desk and get the points? Because we really need to know what's happening. I am on the edge of my seat right now. I need to know who made it. Absolutely. Alright, but before that, top 5 players. Clowny, obviously, Lifecraft, 7 kills, 891 damage, amazing damage. But let's not forget Godlike's exist. 1000 damage, highest damage dealer of the map, but 4 kills only. Godlike Gil, of course, coming in second with another 7 kills and 750 damage. And Smokey from Godlike coming in fourth with 4 kills. We have 3 players of Godlike. Cronton, not the greatest game. Got knocked out 4 times. Had to keep getting res, but the rest of his team obviously carried him. And finally, in 5th place, Lifecraft Villain coming in with 4 kills.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Exist. He has 1000 damage. Obviously, the MVP for his team. But look at the number on Smokey. It's 666. It's the number of the devil, boy.
Yeah, Smokey clearly like channeling the devil or the inner demon, whatever you want to say. We got to see some amazing plays from Godlike, and like Godlike has not had the greatest couple of games in the semis, but on this last day, on this last match, they truly played like gods, securing Pachinki first and then proceeding to the last circle, eliminating as many teams as possible, including 7 Seas Esports. And here we go, the standings of the match. This is not the overall standings, so don't get excited just yet. It's Lifecraft coming with 35 points, Godlike coming in second with 30 kills, 16 kills, 30 points, amazing. 16 kills to Godlike, 15 kills to Lifecraft. Both these teams outperforming their general performances in the other maps. Megastars, of course, with the ballsy push on Godlike with 5 kills and 15 points. But TeamElves coming in 4th with 12 points. 7 Seas Esports with 10. ELMT Esports with 8. They were unfortunately in a sandwich between Aztecc and Elves, so they were not in the greatest position. Aztecs getting the 5 points. Mayhem getting the 2 points, so I guess Mayhem's out, and Ikimafia also getting the 1 point, so Ikimafia is out. So yep, looks like Aztecs has made it to the finals. Ikimafia, Mayhem, and AIM Gaming will be relegated. Sad reacts only for these 3 teams. GG, well played. Better luck next time. It was a pleasure, by the way, casting the PMCO semis and the group stages with you, Crips. I really enjoyed myself, and I do appreciate all the viewers. Thank you so much for interacting with us and being such an awesome audience. I am PC Peasants Gaming, and my co-caster here is Crips.
Yeah, but you're talking as if this is the last time we're going to be seeing these guys. Before we get to the pleasantries and bid goodbye, let's take a look at the overall standings. Marcos Gaming, 248. Clap, 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 clap. Orange Rock really made a massive comeback on this last day, and they got to the 2nd place with 222. 222. Oh, that's pretty nice. 7 Seas also proving us that they are a serious threat with 212 points. Megastars breaching the 200-point mark with that 15-point game in Erangel. Impressive stuff from them. And they overtake Team Elements in the process. Nice. Team Lifecraft as well. They got to top 6. At one point, they were in top 10. So they have been consistently making progress.
Yep.
And Lifecraft, even though they were in a very awkward situation in this game. I'm pretty impressed by whatever they've done.
Well, they also got the circle right towards the end, so they were a little bit lucky there. But that multiple spray on the Megastars team was quite commendable. In spite of having just the 2 chicken dinners, they have managed to cross UMExRxN. And Fnatic with no chicken dinners, but 63 kills in a top 8 situation. Fnatic, I think, will come back now that they do have Scout OP and they have the original roster. Paritosh, of course, carried them to this position, but I do expect Fnatic to show us what they're really made of in the finals. Godlike moving up to 9th position with 165 points and the single chicken dinner, crossing TeamTamilas, who did have the 1 chicken dinner, but 10 kills over Godlike. Team Tamil was definitely on fire these semifinals. Cells is also moving up. No chicken dinners, but a decent amount of frags. 62 kills, 148 points. Genocide and VSGCrawlers, of course, they did move down a little bit. We didn't see too much of Genocide, but they did have the 2 chicken dinners. They did win Sanhok today, so they are comfortably making it. And Revenge Esports Aztecc Esports crosses Revenge Esports with the 1 chicken dinner, 50 kills, and Revenge Esports just about makes it to the semis. And these are your top 16 teams for the finals of the PMCO Spring Split.
Yeah, Aztec with a brilliant performance in the last game just managed to jump over Mayhem and Revenge in the process to take the 15 spots. Unfortunately, the journey for Mayhem, TeamElves, Ecstasy, Icky Mafia, AIM Gaming, -40 full power, and JSL has come to an end in the PMCO Spring Split. But maybe these teams will have a little bit of luck in the wildcard qualifier. Maybe Mayhem definitely will. Look at it, Mayhem, they're in triple digits. They have 100 points, but still they didn't make it in. That's just unfortunate.
Hey, so can you explain the wildcard qualifiers and how exactly does it work?
That's a really wild concept. I mean, the whole thing is kind of complicated, so I'm going to have to revise a little bit about that as well. But the basic thing is a few lucky teams get to enter directly into that stage that will happen after the finals, or maybe before that. I'm not really sure about it. Either way, we probably will have a graphic on screen discussing that later, or maybe we'll just, give you all the details as we go. But for now, the semifinals have come to an end. But the action for us hasn't come to an end anytime soon. Me and PC Peasants will be casting the Pakistani qualifiers and the wildcard qualifiers as well at the same time. And after that, the finals. So,
are we?
Yeah.
Really? Are we? I didn't know that.
What? How do you not know? Okay, you're just making things up at this point.
No, I really didn't know. I had no idea I was casting those. I knew I was casting the finals, but hey, yay, that's more work for me. Good, that works out. 7Seas Esports, 420, the kill leader of the semifinals, 33 kills, crossing the dude of Marcos Gaming with 31 kills, and Pansing coming in 3rd place with 30 kills from Marcos Gaming. Ultron from Team Elements coming in 4th place with 30 kills, and Revenge Esports Akshay maintaining his 5th position with 29 kills. Orange Rock moving up from 24 to 28 kills to 6th position, crossing Max Cash of Marcos Gaming in the 7th position with 27 kills. And let's not forget Manti OP of Team Tamil coming in 8th place with 26 kills, and ELMT Esports' Prince with 26 kills also in position 9. And finally Paradox from Mega still in 10th position. I think he crossed Swag, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he just crossed his teammate with 24 kills and made it to the kill leader list.
Yeah, impressive performance by all these lovely players. I really like the performance of Manti OP. He really shines under pressure, and so does Max Cash. Marcos Gaming finishing at the top of the semi-final stage. And man, what a journey it has been. From the group stages to the semi-finals, we did see a lot of teams, go up and down, but most of the teams who did well in the group stages did not do well in semis, and the saga continues. Do you think the top teams over here in the semis will struggle in finals? Do you think teams like Orange Rock and Marcos Gaming really bite the dust in finals?
I don't think so. I mean, these teams are very clearly prepared for the pressure, prepared for all the I mean, it's basically the pressure of the finals, and I think the top teams will be fine. I don't expect them to choke. I am a little bit worried about the teams below Fnatic. These are the teams that will have a higher chance of choking, but it's too early to say. I mean, we'd have to wait for the final day, the first couple of matches, before we sort of have an idea on how these teams are going to perform.
Well, the finals start in a few days. We do have a little bit of break in between that, where there will be many other PUBG Mobile matches and tournaments going on. So don't worry, you guys, we got you covered. There is gonna be action all day, every day. And even though the Indian finals will resume soon, we have the South Asian finals, and at the same time, the wildcards, the Pakistani qualifiers. So don't worry, we're not gonna go anywhere. And neither will PUBG Mobile, because this game continues to entertain us all.
Yep, and we do hope you've enjoyed the stream. And if you have enjoyed the English desk, don't forget to like and subscribe the PUBG Mobile Esports YouTube channel. You can also follow them on Twitter. That's where I get all my information. And follow them on Instagram as well for all the standings all the standings information that you need. You can also check out PC Peasants Gaming. And Crips, do you have a channel?
Well, my YouTube channel is called AFK Gaming, and my personal channel, I don't have a personal channel, but you can follow me on Instagram @CripsCasts. Just shamelessly plugging myself over here.
Yeah, hey man, why not? We don't have a desk even, so like, it's okay. I don't think they'll mind that much. And hopefully, one of these days, Crips and I will get to cast another LAN, and you will see us at the desk. And yeah, we had a lot of fun at PMAS, and I do hope that we do get a lot more opportunities. The finals are, I believe, on the 22nd of Feb, for those of you who are asking. And it's just a couple of days away, so gives us some time to prepare for the finals and do some research so that we don't fumble on the finals, and we give you all the information, all the facts that you need. And we hope we have entertained you guys. It has been amazing for us, and you guys have been an amazing audience as well.
Yeah, it's been an amazing tournament all throughout. So stay tuned, and we will be seeing you guys really soon.